All right, what's going on, everybody? It's Jake with Retic Radio. So we're doing a little different segment here today. We're going to do a new one called the Retic Roundtable, Reticulated Roundtable. So a lot of stuff going on in the Retic community right now. All sorts of drama, issues with Morph Market, all sorts of stuff. So what we're going to do is we're just going to, I got two guests that I'm going to be bringing on with me. We're going to be just talking about all the different shenanigans that are going on. So let's bring them in. We'll bring one in at a time. So we got Mr. Chris McVicker. What's up, Chris?
How's it going, guys?
And we got Travis. What's up, Travis? So
What's
we got.
up? Can you hear me with my shitty voice?
Your hoarse voice, yeah.
Yeah, it's bad.
Well, sickness is, man, going around. Never ends.
Yeah, I'm down with the sickness.
So what's happening, man? Thank you for coming on, guys. We've talked about this for a while, so.
Yeah, no problem, man.
Get everybody together, trying to talk about all the BS, all the craziness going on in the Retic community right now. So, what do you guys think about everything? What do you think about all the drama, all the I don't know. It just seems like it's just like fires burning everywhere. I feel like
it's been a weird year for sure. Probably the weirdest since I've been in snakes. So it hasn't been fun.
No. Market's just insane, up and down all over the place. Just people just breeding like crazy. Everybody fighting, trying to kill each other. It's pretty ridiculous, I have to say. What about you, Travis? What do you think? I know you got a lot of thoughts.
I mean, I always have a lot to say. I mean, you're gonna have to lead the.
All right, well let's start with this. Okay,
but,
so I do have. You guys know I sent you guys some bullet points and just stuff that I know we've thought about talking about. So I guess the biggest thing right now, or at least that I've noticed, right, is the market. The market right now, and it's not just Retics, it's everything, right? It seems like ball python guys, everybody's having issues. So what's your guys' obvious thoughts on the market right now, and what can we do to kind of, I guess, remedy that?
I mean, the market's pretty much trash right now. I do Retics and boas, and even boa sales have been pretty slow this year. But I think we just have to really pay attention to what we're pairing this fall for, next year's offspring, and not do overproduction, and just kind of maybe reinvent ourselves, learn how to promote better, get your name out there more.
Yeah.
You just got to do something to set yourself apart to actually make some sales right now.
Yeah, I definitely agree. I mean, the thing that I always talking to people in private, when the market's trash and all this sort of stuff, and you try to give people advice on breeding, that's one of the things, like you said, the really think out your breedings in advance and stuff. Don't just breed to breed. But people are they don't want to listen to you. I'm going to breed what I want, and they think they're going to be the next big guy, and they're going to sell out, make $1 million doing Retics, which even in a good year you're not going to do.
Nope, let alone figure it out.
This shit economy, which, like you said, all the years of breeding Retics, this is the worst year I've ever seen by far.
It's not just Retics. I mean, I breed balls, carpets. I have rainbow boas, Retics. My wife breeds crested geckos, and it's bad across the board. I think it's just the economy's so bad.
Yeah.
I mean, everything's gone up in price. If you want to talk inflation and all that stuff. So
yeah,
I mean, the more they print money, and it's not based off the gold standard, the less it's worth, and inflation just keeps going crazy. Everything's expensive, and people just don't have the luxury money to spend on, animals unless they're already well off. It doesn't really affect well off people, but middle class or lower people, lower middle class or poor people, they don't have money to spend on any hobbies. I don't care if it's race cars, I don't care if it's animals or whatever. They're doing the bare minimum just to feed their stuff. And I agree with both of you on as far as overproduction. I quit breeding Retics in general for selling them. I only breed now for the projects I'm interested or want to see. I don't breed because people, I need ghosts. I need a ghost. I'm only breeding these ghosts when I'm going to make quality ghosts, or what I want to make something for me to keep back. And then, we'll see who's there to get one, because they never are.
Right.
You get a list of people. I got 15 people, and maybe one buys one. Oh, I don't get no money, or whatever the excuse is. And it's just I've chased that before multiple times. Like, oh, I gotta breed this because a lot of people want it, and like they never fucking show up. So I just breed for what I want to make for me, and then I sell the other stuff. But like if you breed more than like, well, in this economy, like this year, if you breed more than like 2 clutches, you're fucking stupid.
Well, that's what I was gonna say. Like, I mean, I see people. Like, I mean, I haven't had eggs. My last clutch was my double head purple hypo clutch, and that's been months. I have no eggs in the incubator right now. I have breedings that are just kind of happening, and I have like 3 or 4 that I really am trying for, and realistically, I might get 2, and I don't even really want to. If one goes, if the one that I really want to goes, I probably won't even do the other breeding. But how do you tell these people that are doing 6, 7, 8 breedings? Yeah. Like, to me, that's insane. That's just
they're gonna, if they don't want to listen, they're gonna have to figure it out the hard way. And you know, they're
it affects all of us, though. That's the problem, right? Is
it does, but what are you gonna do to somebody that doesn't listen? You know, fight with them. I know. You know, all you can do is fight with them online, and you know that doesn't never work good.
Yeah, I think that's the problem. Is and it seems to be a lot of the new-ish keepers that have this mentality where they're gonna breed a bunch of stuff, and like, fuck the old guys. They don't know what they're doing. I'm gonna be different, right? And I mean, we've all been around long enough. How many guys have we seen that came in, spent money, and fizzled out? And this was when the economy was good. I mean, 150, 250 baby.
But even when you told those people, they didn't listen.
Well, that's what I'm saying. It's
the same. It's the same thing every couple of years. They don't listen.
Right. I mean, it's
you know.
I don't know how you fix that. You know, I mean, I don't think you can. You just got to try to give.
I just give my honest opinion and try to give genuine advice and hope people listen to it. And I mean, it's a free country. They're going to do what they want. And unfortunately, I mean, it affects everybody, but I mean, I don't really like culling. We can talk about culling, but like, unfortunately, you're going to have to now if you want to produce stuff, or grow your females slow and small. And, you know, like breed them strategically. Like I've done that with a few. Like I didn't breed a couple females because I don't want those big clutches. Like so I have, everybody knows I have a lot of genetic stripe stuff. So I'll pick the smallest, best one to do the breeding I want because I know I'll get like 16 eggs. You know, because because nowadays I only make like double, triple, quad heads. Yeah. So if I'm doing something like that to keep for me, I'll pick the smallest, you know, female, and I don't feed her just forever, you know, like I'll try to palpate and feed her just to breed the follicles, just to get. I just want like a small clutch, you know.
I mean, there's you know, I feel you. I'm on the same idea as you. You know, like I have a giant blonde tiger. You know, she'll drop 60, 70 eggs. As much as I'd love to breed her, and I could breed her, I mean, she's giant, ready to go. I don't want to make 70 blonde combos. This just doesn't make sense right now, especially, you know, and you get a lot of that, you know, at least for me, because I mean, Travis, you have some super dwarf stuff, right? Or no? A little bit? Yeah, and I know, Chris, you do all the super dwarfs. So I have 0 super dwarf stuff, right? But I get messages all the time about super dwarfs. A lot of my newer animals that I've gotten and raised the last few years, I'm raising them extremely slowly. I have mainlands that are 2 years old that they're eating a big meal. I mean, it's pretty well known I like to feed giant meals, right? But I'll feed them a big meal every 3 weeks, 4 weeks, 5 weeks even. So I have mainlands that are 2 years old. They're like 7 feet. You know, nice. They're nice and thick, and they're fine. But there's no point. You don't need to get them giant and make fucking huge clutches.
I also think like the way we used to feed just you know wasn't good for them.
No,
you know, they grew too quick. They got too fat, and they sometimes weren't good breeders. They die young. You know, slow growing is a better option, not just for economy wise and smaller clutches, but it's healthier for the animal.
Yeah, I think Travis,
go ahead.
Sorry, go ahead. No, I was just saying. I know you talk to a lot of guys over in Indo, and I've seen a lot of pictures. I'm sure, Chris, you have too, of like old wild caught retics, or even seeing pictures of the guys catching them. A lot of those. Even big snakes are very lean. They're not fucking fat and massive and huge.
Well, they're a lot more active. Right. There's not as much food because I mean,
here we feed them whatever we want. Right. Yeah. I think that's
even if they are, they can burn it off because they're not stuck in a box.
Right. They're climbing and they're cruising around constantly, and it's.
Like I'd always been told, you know, they're just going to sit there. you know, they're not going to move around. I got bigger cages, shelving, hides. I see them moving around all the time.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. See, and I don't know. Like I have a friend who works at a zoo, and they got a pretty good size retic, and he says that it sits 90% of the time. It just sits in a corner, doesn't really do much. And they come in at night.
It could be the super dwarf and dwarf stuff. Maybe you know, they're smaller animals.
They are more. The super dwarf stuff is more active.
Well, and it's individual, right? Some snakes might just be more active than other snakes too. You know, I have some here that fucking don't ever stop moving, and then I have some that never move. They literally sit there, they'll eat, they come out to clean.
Just like people.
Yeah. It's
But what I was gonna say when you were talking about how people used to feed, I think we just didn't know as much as we do now.
Oh, for sure.
And like that was the way you breed snakes, is you just feed the shit out of them. And like you force them to cycle, but those don't make good breeders because I think they lose the triggers as far as what makes them cycle. Like to me, there's three or four triggers. Like you have to have their age, they need food, you know, calorie intake, temperature, all that stuff plays a part. And it's like a lot of them will cycle on their own if you just aren't in a hurry.
Right.
And like if you can ultrasound or palpate, you can figure out their cycles. And you know, you can feed the follicles when they have follicles. You don't have to make the snake just big because you have no idea what you're doing. You just feed them 24/7.
Right.
So I've learned a lot over the however long, decades, 15 years, that I used to feed stuff so hard and because that's all I knew was how to breed them. And it's like, you don't have to do that. Now you can drop temperatures, you know, you can let them cycle once the first time. A lot of them don't even take the first time, but you figure out what their natural cycle is. And then you can track it and be ready for the next time.
Yeah.
You know, and temp drop then and feed heavy then and try to trigger, you know, you don't have to make the snake bigger than it needs to be.
Right.
And then you get a smaller clutch and the snake's healthier. It's less work for you. You're not wasting money on feeders.
Yeah.
You know, it's really helped me to figure out. I mean, I learned palpating from doing all the ball python stuff I've done forever.
I'm so
but like it's not hard, and it's hard on a big fat snake because you can't feel anything.
I know when I went to Nerd, Kevin was showing me how to do it with I'm like, dude, I have no idea. I'm like, I can't figure it out. I suck at it. So
what do you use, Travis? You use I've always used like a snake bag.
I just put them back in their cage and let them go in their cage and just do it.
Right. Well, like I keep the snake bag in my hand and just let them go through that. Right.
Oh,
your fingers aren't sticking on the scales.
If the snake's like jumpy or wants to buck you or something like that, you got to be real slow and gentle so they don't know you're there. And like I'll use maybe a paper towel with those ones.
Okay.
Yeah.
But a lot of times I just use my hands. I don't use anything.
Yeah.
If they're huge, I have to use I'll put a hat on and use my head. But like those big ones, I don't even breed those anymore.
Yeah. Yeah.
I think those ones that you feed heavy like that, like you said, they don't make good breeders because I think we fuck them up.
Yeah.
They all they know is food, same temperature. So
I think a lot of that too is the food cycle though too, right? I think if the guy you're feeding him heavy, but you're feeding him religiously every 7 days.
That's
what I mean. Take a ton of food to cycle that animal, you know.
No, I think they lose the trigger. So like if they're triggered by big calories because of, you know, like say, you know, your natural seasons in the wild, and they get more calories when it's colder, or I don't know, however they work, I know biology wise. If all they know from their fucking birthday is food, like they don't ever have a fast.
Right.
And it's like, so when you do give a big meal, it doesn't mean anything to them. Like I think it fucks them up where they just don't get the trigger anymore. Then you have to temp cycle them. And then, you know, people that keep their room at 80 degrees, like, how do you do that then? Like, eventually you might get 1, 2, 3 clutches out of those big fat ones, like you say, and then they don't make good breeders. It's like, I think because we fuck them up.
Yeah, maybe.
If you put if you fast one of those big snakes for a couple of years and put in a big ass cage where it can, you know, do its own thing, and I think you can maybe breed it again.
Yeah.
But like you have to reset that whole snake, I think.
Yeah, you might be right. we kind of got off track of the market.
Market's shitty.
That's all right. No, but so like, you know what else I've been noticing? I don't understand if it's just me, but like, I feel like everybody is posting fucking sales 24/7. It's a sale that lasts indefinitely, right? I don't know if that's just me noticing it or maybe it's just my mentality, but I'm like,
oh, it's everywhere, dude.
Everybody's got a sale fucking 24/7. I don't understand that. How does it, how, and they're still not selling shit. So that's just fucking us even more.
It's a shitty market, and that's in the past. Sales have worked for people. You know,
Yeah.
we do a sale once a year, maybe twice a year, and you make good money because you're not doing it that often.
Right.
Well, everybody is doing a sale every week, every day, and it's people just expect it now. Like,
well, and I think that's the thing is buyers know that people are struggling, so they're like, I'm just gonna wait till they make this thing 50% off, and I'll now buy it, you know, or wait, see how desperate are they gonna go to sell this animal,
right?
You know, and everyone's trying to undercut. Not everybody, but I should say a lot of people are trying to undercut each other. And
there's been a handful of names though that have done that for a long time.
Yeah, there has.
And like auctions and all like. People like auction off this high end shit for like the last decade.
Yeah.
And it's like they can't sell anything because nobody's gonna buy anything from you because they know you're gonna auction it in 2 weeks.
Hey, I did my snaffles, which were
that's not the same thing. That's not what I'm saying.
Well, and I'm not doing them every day though. I'm not doing it every day. That's the thing. And when you're doing it every day, like what the fuck?
But that's a one here and there. That's kind of different. I mean, like if you make back when let's just use pies. Okay, I made 10 pies, but I didn't tell anybody that. So I tell them I made 3 and I sell 2 for like whatever somebody will pay me, like the highest I can. And then I I have 5 more and I auction them all off. Well, fuck, that's bullshit. You just fucked the person that invested in you. You ain't, you know, I've said for years, those people, I've never bought from them ever. I don't care if it's $100 snake. I just won't do it because they're a piece of shit.
I've dropped the price on a snake like a couple months after a friend bought something and went up to him and be like, hey, you know, you got a discount next time you get something because I dropped the price.
But did you sell like a $15,000 snake and then sell like these hidden ones over here for like $400?
No, I definitely.
That's what I mean.
But
yeah. I mean, I heard. I mean, that happens a lot. I feel like, and I've heard of that happening to some of the big breeders. People were doing that, selling stuff to the bigger breeders, and you're getting the only one, blah blah blah, and then trading it or getting some crazy high end stuff. And meanwhile, they got 15 more sitting at the house, and they're trading it to these other.
I know
breeders.
It's true because I've had other friends of mine that don't know. Nobody knows who they are.
Yeah.
I've had them message people, and some of these breeders telling like 15 different people all different prices.
Yeah. Yeah, that's
if I catch, I've checked it, I've vetted it. You can call me shitty for doing it. I don't care. Like, if you tell me it's $5,000, and then Tammy over here messages you, and they're not a snake person, and you feel like they're broke or something, and you offer it to them for like $1,500.
Yeah,
I'm not investing in you because you're not investable. I used to look at it like an investment, and it's like,
yeah, it's hard to. I mean,
you're just going to charge me more money because you think I'll pay it.
Yeah. Right. It's definitely a lot harder to invest the money, I feel like now. I guess too, though, it depends on who's got the stuff. I mean, really, there's not much more newer stuff that people are going to invest in, and the people that do have that stuff aren't. At least I wouldn't give those people my money at this point because I know what's going to happen. That's just going to be
50% off,
half price. Yeah, 50% off next year. So
I know somebody that happened. So
yeah, so it's I don't know. I don't get the sales. I don't get the constant sales. I don't get, I just doesn't make sense to me. Like, have some.
I understand it right now just because of the economy. The people that have gotten in over their head.
Yeah, I guess
it's a business to them to where they have to sell these animals.
Yeah,
but
I can see that.
It's still shitty. Like, it still sucks.
Well, and there's no continuity within the market either. Like you take like OGS. Let's say, I saw Bob had him at 500 at one point. I think random other people were like 1,000, and then Kevin or somebody had him at like $2,000. How does nobody fucking look at Morph Market and say, let's try to keep the prices together? Like someone a couple $100 even difference. How do you go from $500 to $2,000 fucking dollars, man? It just, that shit blows my mind too. Like I don't know, like you guys said, there's just so many shit bags, and it's all they care about is the money.
Well, certain people too. I mean, not to defend people, but like Chris said, is it a hobby for you? Did you breed one clutch? Is this your only income? Is this like your, do you have employees? Do you have to feed people? There's different scenarios. For
But I don't think there's nobody breeding just. I'm only talking about the retics. There's nobody breeding just retics, minus Garrett, right? I mean, you got Bob's doing how much other stuff. You got Kevin that's doing how much other stuff. The retics, I feel like, are such a small little bitty part of their income that, like, I don't know. I would think that you could do the sales on the ball pythons or the boas or stuff that was maybe selling a little bit better, since retics are not selling for shit. So
I don't think it's just retics though that nothing's selling.
No, I know, but I'm saying I feel like retics are probably one of the worst off. I still know guys that are buying ball pythons and they're selling ball pythons. I know ball python guys I see pictures of 15 shipping boxes going out of ball pythons, so I don't see that with retics at all. But I don't know.
I mean, retics are kind of their worst enemy. It's a great snake. They don't get sick. They're hardy, but they get big. Not a lot of people can keep big. They lay a lot of eggs. If they were big and laid 5 eggs, it's not as bad.
Right.
But, limited market, maximum production, it's kind of a bad setup.
Yeah.
And then, like, we lost importation and all that stuff. So, like, the investment.
But did we? Did we?
Most people did.
Right. 99.9% of people did.
Yeah.
But as far as, as far as, like, if someone's looking to invest, like, if they're invested, you can't look at it like I'm invested in the ball python market the same as, like, a retic market.
No, definitely not.
There's not new genes most of the time that we're going to get easily. So, like, the last couple genes are there, they're.
Well, it's like you got to almost invest in, like you said, the future is the double, triple, quad recessive stuff, the locality mixed into all the other morphs. That's where the money. That's where everyone needs to go. Nobody should be breeding really a platinum tiger to a sunfire or stuff like that. Really doesn't need to be bred. It doesn't make sense.
I think a lot of people are going to refine morphs with the locality stuff.
Yeah, I agree. I think that's what has to be done.
Yeah,
you have to.
It's going to add a lot of color and pattern to it. That's I really feel like that's going to be the future. No, I don't even care about the size thing.
Right.
Of it. Like, it adds a lot to it. Like the mainland stuff, we just lost the locality info, and some people refined their projects and some people didn't. Mm-hmm. But it seems like mixing in that dwarf and super dwarf blood is adding a lot back to it. And I think I really hope in the next couple of years that kind of puts us back up, and people start getting back into it and enjoying it more.
I mean, I still want to do more Sula stuff. That's my goal. Is I'd love to put some Sula blood into a lot of the stuff I have, because I mean, there's not a lot of people doing that. So I think that's and I just can't do the dwarf, super dwarf stuff. So that's kind of where I'm going to go.
It's not for everybody.
No, it's not, and it's not. I have no ill feelings towards it. It's just not for me. So that's my plan. Is I'd love to do like a Sula into like a double or triple recessive female, and make some cool stuff. But it's kind of think that's where we're kind of headed. But I think that those multi-recessive animals, they're still going to be an investment. It's still a project that you buy a triple recessive. I mean, what are the odds on that? I don't even know off the top of my head. Triple recessive is what, 1 in, is it 64? What? A triple recessive, or 1 in 126? What's the odds of hitting a triple recessive?
From triple head to triple head?
Triple head to triple head, right. Is it 1 in 126 or something like that? Or
I think it's 1 in 64.
Okay, that's what I thought.
Or 128. It's 1 in 16 for double. So
I don't know. I'm not good at math, so
I think it's like 1 in 64 or something. I would not recommend doing it that way.
No, but I'm saying, that if you were going to,
I mean, somebody has to start it,
right?
But not anymore, because we're so far past that. And like, unless you're doing it with a brand new gene, like a ocelot or
specific
hypo,
animals is what I'm talking about. Like,
but like, if you buy an anthrax, if you're gonna start from the bottom and you just use like an anthrax and a pie, like that's stupid.
Yeah,
Well,
that's dumb.
But I'm saying, for example, mine and Aubrey's clutch, right? The triple heads. That's an investment. That's a powerful triple head, triple recessive project. Or like your purple anthrax genetic stripe stuff. That's a good investment project to get into, right? So I mean, selling a pair of triple heads, or in your case, I mean, you can get the albino double heads, or the albino head anthrax.
Yeah, but like that stuff's valuable in different ways to different people depending on your collection. Like if you have like 2 snakes,
well, yeah,
it's hard. Or like I wouldn't recommend like breed it backwards. Like
right.
I would push forward, like refine it better or mix it with another recessive, like make your own project. I wouldn't just like breed it to a normal.
No, but I'm saying like you would get a pair of double or triple heads and try to breed them together, make the double visual, triple visual, take the baby into a different recessive and make your own project that way is what I'm saying.
Yeah.
That's an investment. That's kind of more the investment I would invest in as opposed to a new gene that a big breeder has that they're going to tank in a year, That's
if you have the right collection though, you can still do something with that.
Yeah. I don't know what. So something else I've been seeing. I'm sure you guys have too. Is like a lot of the newer breeders. We kind of touched on it a little bit. I don't know. I feel like some of these new breeders are newer guys that are coming in and they're just fed a lot of bullshit, right? About take this snake, breed them together. The babies are $1,000 a piece. You make 30 babies, boom, you make 30 grand. You're gonna get rich super fast. I don't know. I see it a lot. I hear about it a lot. I get messages on that stuff too all the time. Guess that kind of goes back to the investment standpoint as well.
Do people still believe that?
I get a lot of messages about it.
It's just been going on since I got into retics, man.
I don't know. Like, how do you? I guess my thing is, how do we? Because I don't know. Maybe it's me. I kind of come across as a dick, but how do we try to educate those people without coming across as dicks?
I think you just got to be honest about it. Like, give your past experience. Well, give your past experience. Be polite about it, but just give them as much knowledge as you can to explain. Shit ain't what it used to be.
Yeah.
Back when we first got into it, you could breed an albino to a normal, and you could sell the whole clutch in like 2 months. Like it wasn't a big thing. You can't do that shit no more.
No.
Like you got to be specific about what you're breeding. I'm only doing I have 3 pairings that I might do this year. None of my females have gone off food. None of them have cycled, so I may not even have any, and that's fine. But the people that I keep seeing post ovulation and breeding and breeding and breeding and breeding, I'm like, dude, y'all are in for it. Back in 2010, I had like 800 babies, and that was crazy back then.
Fuck that.
I would never, ever think about doing, and that wasn't just retics. That was balls, boas,
that's
burns,
still animals to feed and clean.
It was insane.
200 babies to take care of for a year. You're gonna take care of them for a year.
Yeah,
I guarantee it.
Back then,
you're not selling them all.
I got rid of those pretty quick, but
no, I'm talking about nowadays.
Oh yeah, nowadays shit.
You make 200 babies, like,
I think my highest was between 250 and 300, and I will never do it again. That was the worst. It was cool having the babies, but dude, it is so much work. And that's, what is that? 3 clutches or so? 3-4 clutches maybe.
And people don't even think like it's not just the feeding and cleaning. When you post that stuff up, you got to answer emails and phone calls and texts, and it's nonstop.
Yeah.
And most of those people, at least now, aren't even buying shit. They're just asking.
Well, they got to ask their wife. Usually, that's how it goes. I got to ask my wife. Or
I will say, I ask my wife, but I do it beforehand.
Well, yeah. Or they want 500 pictures. I need to see the belly. Yes. I need to see the back of the head. Can I see the tail? I want to see the vent. Oh, what's the mom look like? Can you take a picture holding the dad? Like, it's. And
when I get those, and I might be a dick about it, but when I get those questions, I'm like, all right, you got to tell me like what part of the snake you need to see.
Yeah.
Out of the 5 pictures I have on Morph Market that doesn't show it.
Yeah, it's crazy. Yeah, it's definitely scary. Like
So I've been trying this lately, and I think it probably comes off like shitty, but I mean it in a good way, and I'm genuine about it. Like, tell me what you want, and tell me how much you have to spend.
No, I think that's a great way to go about it.
But people don't like to answer that, it seems like. Like, tell me you have $400, or tell me you have $5,000. And and I'll try to give you the best thing I can give you. Like,
right.
Say it's $6,000, retail and you tell me I have like 4,800, it's like, well, if you're honest with me and you don't make this a pain in the ass, like I'll probably just give you the snake for 4,800.
Right,
Yeah.
right.
You know, but if you want to like do it the other way and then never buy anything, like, I don't know. If you make it easy on me, I'm more lenient to give you something really good.
Yeah.
You know.
And that's, I mean, I'm the same way. I
I
mean,
just don't have the time anymore with all the stuff I'm doing with work and a new, you know, not new, but
a child,
almost 3-year-old, and like all this other stuff I'm doing. It's like I have a lot of snakes too. I don't know if you know that, but like it's a nonstop. Like every other day, I'm doing stuff with them, and I just don't have time for that. Like, just tell me up front, be honest with me of what your parameters are, and then I will give you the best thing I can to meet your parameters.
Or even just like if they give you some ideas and stuff they're looking for or that they like, you know, it makes it a lot easier to pick out something, give them some ideas.
My goal is to make this, that, and the other anthrax. Well, like, I got this and make even better than that.
Yeah.
Right.
You know, you want that? You know, a lot of stuff I don't even have time to post it for sale. I just have it.
Yeah.
And like it's annoying because I'm just cleaning and feeding stuff.
Oh yeah,
like,
busy, man. A lot of stuff. It's
and
hard.
like some of the stuff, like I have 2 or 3 people that I've sent stuff to, like to do shows, just because I don't have time to do that.
Yeah.
You know,
I mean, I do a
let
lot
them
of that.
make some off of it and let me make some off it. I don't care.
Well, it's off your plate too. You don't have to worry about that.
Well, they deserve to make money on it too. If they're advertising it, they're paying for shows. They're paying to feed them and clean them. You know, I don't have a problem with that. But
I sent a bunch of my shit out because I just had a weird, stressful couple months, like when everything hatched, and I couldn't deal with it. Like it was too much for me at the time, and I had a friend that helped me out, and it saved me. Like it was, I wasn't in a good spot back then, and it worked out. So
and it helps them. They make money too,
right?
You know?
Yeah. Well, some people I know some people don't like the selling aspect of it either too. Like me personally, I like it, but I also hate it. Like you said, I hate all the. I like talking to the people about the snakes. I like helping people get projects they want or what's going to work for them and that sort of thing. But like it's a lot of people don't. There's a lot of people that like, I don't want to sell snakes. I don't want to talk to people about selling. I just want to make snakes and show them off, which is totally cool. You know, it's
I'm kind of in the middle. I love helping people if you're genuine with me.
Yeah.
I will answer questions forever. If you buy the snake, I'll be there for you after it for years, you know, whatever. But if you're just like bullshitting me, like I don't have time for that anymore.
Yeah.
And
I wouldn't even care if someone was like, "Hey, I'm not going to get a snake for you, but could you answer some questions?"
That's what I mean. That's what I mean.
Don't leave me along.
Yeah, if you're honest with me,
yeah,
just don't carrot dangle me. If you say I don't have the money right now, but I want to know this, and this, can you help me? Sure, I'll help you. You know, just be honest with me. And like you're talking about selling stuff, like that's why I don't sell carpet pythons. I have them and I breed them, but I don't sell them.
Well, you know, one of the things that always drives me nuts.
Thousands of pictures of like the whole lineage.
Well, they're nuts. The one thing that drives me nuts is like I'd have people that would message me interested in snakes. You know, same thing. Well, you know, tell me what you can afford. I'll do it. I'm super easy to do. Payment plans, the whole thing. A month goes by or a few weeks, they don't hear from them. Then hey, I got this snake at such and such show for this much money. Can you help me? It won't eat or won't. That shit, I'll help them. But I'm straight up with like, you know, it's kind of a dick move. I told you should have bought for me. I would have helped you. You would have got a good snake. It would be, you know, that shit drives me fucking crazy. And I don't know, as a like customer, I would never do that to somebody. I would never. I'm going to buy a snake from you or interested in this snake and then go buy it from someone else for half price or a quarter of the price and then ask you for help. I think that's such a fucking dick move. But
it happens a lot.
It happens all the time, man. All the fucking time.
I've been asked before. I get what you're saying. I've been asked before though, like, I breed this and this, and why doesn't it look like yours?
Yeah, that's
because you bought it for $200. Sorry.
So that's where I was talking about the locality stuff. Like, you got to refine what you did or what you're doing.
Yeah.
You know, there's only a couple people in the hobby that really like focused on their shit, and it shows.
Yeah. Oh yeah, definitely.
Hey,
I can see someone's picture on Facebook, and I know exactly it came from Shane.
Yeah.
Like, I don't even have to ask.
I mean, he's probably the best example. I mean, I don't know
that's why I use him all the time.
Yeah, I mean, there's nobody else whose stuff looks so like you know exactly where it came from without
His style of pictures too is like pretty signature.
Yeah.
Yeah,
so
but you can still, like, if I posted a picture of one of Shane's snakes, you would know who produced it.
Yeah.
So Nikki asked a question. She said she wants to know what's the hardest thing about selling. What would you guys tell yourself if you could go back? Who wants to answer that one first? Or do you
selling stuff to people that can't handle it? When I sell something to somebody and then a couple months down the road, a year or two down the road, I find out that it was just not taken care of and just went to shit, it fucks me up. Like, I hate it. That's for me, selling stuff to somebody and not knowing what's going to happen to it is the hardest part.
Yeah. I kind of agree. I guess I'll go. Travis, you can go after me. I kind of agree. Like, I mean, I think it's not even just retics. If I was selling ball pythons or lizards or anything, you've spent so much time raising the parents, hatching these babies out, taking care of these babies for it to go, and somebody could view it as just a disposable pet and just not give a shit and treat it like garbage. And and that's like when I sell something, I'm very like, hey, here's my phone number. Call me, text me, any issues. I'm on all the Facebook groups. I'm super active. Like, it's not hard to find me. Reach out to me if there's any problems whatsoever, because that's the last thing I want to hear is, oh, I couldn't get the snake to eat, or this happened and it died. Well, it's like, then just reach out to me. I'll help you. We'll figure it out together. But
stuff happens too, though. Like, that's freak things.
Yeah. What about you, Travis? What's the hardest thing about selling to you?
I mean, a lot of it's hard, honestly.
Yeah.
Just the process of it, getting pictures and everything up and getting stuff started feeding. A lot of people don't understand that, though. Like, retics are not easy to start.
Yeah.
You think like the most voracious feeding freaking snake would just instantly eat out of the egg, and some do. But like, there's every clutch you have a good handful that like are a pain in the ass. And I'm probably a more extreme example because I'll just admit it. Genetic stripe stuff is a motherfucker.
Yeah.
Like, but once they start eating, they're great. But like, but people like, you just hatched it and then they want to buy it, and it's like, no, because this motherfucker might not eat for 4 months.
Yeah.
Like,
I remember.
And then you're gonna be mad at me, bitching at me all the time, or like asking me every week, and it's like, there's nothing I can do. I'm not. You have to just wait. People don't understand, like, patience.
I remember when I hatched my Phantom GS stuff out, you told me that, Gavin told me that, and I thought you guys were both full of shit. Like, how bad can it be? Like, they can't be any worse, and they were. They were so terrible. I would have never, if I didn't do it myself, I would still think you guys
had some in like 09 or 2010 or something like that, and like,
they're so bad.
Man, it was so hard. Like Travis said, like, once they start, they're fucking on it.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. I couldn't even get half of them to even strike for the longest time. Like, they wouldn't even strike and wrap. They would like run from the rats, chicks, everything. It was.
So, but like half of them will eat fine. It's not the whole clutch.
Yeah.
And like I just sold. I don't know if we're talking names, but I sold a snake to Paul Lucas recently. Only snake in the clutch that would never eat frozen. Huh. I'm like, which one do you want? No, he was fine with it, but like, it's just like, it figures, which one do you want? Because I figured he knows the deal. Yeah. He knows that he'll be understanding. Which one do you want? I had no problem selling it to him before it, ate, and then I'll get it to eat. I knew he would be patient, but it's like the one snake out of a 35 egg clutch is the last, and it ate live. It was the last one. It never switched, and he's just like, just send it. I can get live, and then like, I don't know, probably three feedings later, it ate frozen for him. Which is just like, this stuff takes time. Like, I don't know.
Yeah, it's wild.
Well, it's like, why does the one snake make me look like a jackass?
Paul will let you hear about it too.
No, Paul's fine.
He'll bust your balls.
That's all right.
What were you going to say? You were going to say something, Chris.
Yeah, so we had talked, I mean, we didn't talk about it when we mentioned culling.
Yeah.
So we were just talking about feeding. So do you guys still force feed?
Nope.
Not unless it's one I got to keep.
Okay. I was going to say, if it's a super special, one of one, first of, then yeah. If it's, the byproduct, I probably am not going to.
I only would force feed nowadays, like you said, if it's a one of a kind thing or something I'm going to keep.
Yeah.
It's putting out bad genetics in my eyes.
It is.
Yeah, my Sunfire Ghost Stripe, terrible. It wouldn't eat. I force fed it for 6-8 months, and it finally ate a chick when I put it in a fish tank.
Is that the one you did the video on? Was that the one that you did the video on? Did you do a video of a retic in a fish tank?
There was one in the fish tank.
Was that snake?
No, it was a different snake.
Oh.
I've done the fish tank
thing. I remember that in your video now. Yeah,
I've done that a couple times, but yeah, V18, a V70, a cage, that dark light. I tried everything. Put that sumbitch in a fish tank with a hot 100-watt bulb. Put a chick in there, the thing ate it.
That's insane.
I fucked with that thing for a year. I fucked with that thing for a year. I'd force feed it. It might have not a year, 8 months. I don't know. I put that thing in a fish tank and it ate. Then it switched to mice. Then it switched to rats, and it's fine. Now it's in the 4x2. It's fine.
That's so insane to me.
I know.
It just blows my mind.
I know. And I know a snake that it would push in tubs and it would push in 4x2s, and I put it in a fish tank and it didn't push.
With some
I made a post this
rock.
week about how shitty it was, like me keeping snakes in fish tanks and the shitty racks I used to have. Like I try not to let people keep their shit in tanks or
and nothing I do is everything's fine. Everything's in great cages or tubs or whatever, and it's just like if that's what the snake wants, fine.
That's not.
But it blew my mind. I was just like, well, I'm just gonna put it in here because I can monitor it better and see it. Just put it on my workbench, and I dangle a chick above it from the fucking heat lamp, basically, and the thing eats it. I was like, what the fuck?
Jesus. So let me ask you, what do you guys think? So another thing I wanted to see what you guys thought of is like these newer guys that are coming in. What's your opinion on like just buying up adult? I'm sure I know your opinion, but what's your guys' opinion on like buying up adults to just breed them as opposed to like buying the babies, raising them, growing with your collection? What's your thought process on that?
You want to take this first, Travis?
I see a lot of people buying adults, buying 3-4 breeder adults to breed, and I know. My stance I think is pretty well known, but
most of anything I've bought or bred, I raised from a baby, but I have bought a couple adults, and you just gotta know who you're buying them from. Like if you need a certain adult for a project,
But you're not a newer breeder, though. I'm saying like these newer guys that have only been in it like 3 years, 2-3 years, haven't even been through a full breeding year, like raising up animals. They have 2 or 3 hatchlings. Then 2 years later, a year later, they're buying up an adult breeder female to breed. Like maybe grow your females up first, is my opinion,
or maybe do that with one.
Yeah.
See how it goes.
Yeah.
Before you buy like 12 more.
Yeah.
So there was a reason I asked Travis to go first, because that's how I started. My first pair of retics were like 10 or 12 foot lavenders.
Fuck.
And I mean, they were super sweet, so I got lucky.
Yeah.
But right after that, like it just fucking snowballed. And I mean, we drove to Georgia and picked up a 17-foot U-Haul full of adult retics. Like,
God damn.
It was insane. Like, I didn't know what I was doing. I should not have been doing that crap. So I tried to preach that to people, and I've turned down so many people this year on a lot of the adults that I have for sale. They're like, oh, yeah, I want to buy the adult. I'm like, okay, so you've had retics for a little bit. And all my ads are like, this one's, slightly aggressive. This one, blah, blah, blah. Yeah. Like, I explain that shit very well.
Yeah.
And they're like, oh, no, this is going to be my first one. I'm like, no, dude, like, get a baby. Like, if you don't get it from me, get it from somebody else. But get a baby. Raise that shit up, grow with it, learn with it.
Absolutely.
I had a guy want to buy a retic. It was like 12 foot. He wanted to buy it, and he was going to keep it. He lives in like a mobile trailer that he drove around. Like he was a truck driver or something. I don't remember. But he was just going to let it free roam in there.
Oh, wow.
I was like, nope. Because this is going to be on the news next month.
Well, I think it kind of depends on the individual person too, right? I mean, like
Like
I know,
who thinks that's gonna be all right?
well, right, that ain't gonna be that's. I mean, obviously, but like there are some people like
They were mad too. I didn't sell it to them. They're mad.
Like I look at like Nikki and Taylor, right? Because Nikki's commenting, so she got my big anthrax tiger female, but they're also they've have some babies. They've been raising them up. They're also not in the whole like I need to buy up all these adults to breed them as quick as I can. They're
But
more
was
like
your anthrax tiger nice?
she's nice. She's friendly.
So
I know
that's different. Like
she was telling. I know when they got her, she's been acting a little goofy. That was also after she laid her clutch eggs. You know how they get kind of a little weird sometimes after. So I know she was a little worried because she's a big snake and it's her first big snake, and they're a little worried. But now she's calming down and stuff. But yeah, I mean, I like people like that. You know, they truly love the animals. They're pets first for them. They're not trying to just buy up 50 adult breeders to breed and make.
Like I'm not against selling adults to newer keepers. I'm just saying it's better to start with a baby.
100%.
So you can learn with it.
You know, I got my.
What time was that, Chris, when you bought all those? That was a long time ago, though.
I think I got that first pair of lavenders in like 06 or 07, something like that.
That was a whole different marketplace.
Oh, yeah.
That was a little bit more acceptable, in my opinion.
But I was still retarded for doing that shit.
Well, yeah. Yeah, you still retarded. But I'm saying, but like, if you were looking at it as like a business plan, like there was a viable market then.
Yeah.
If that's your plan now, then you just dumb.
Yeah. It's not
and back then I had an investor. Like I used to work for a ball python breeder, and that's how I got into it. Was I walked out of his building one day and he's like, "Hey man, you want to be a millionaire?" And I was like, "Well, I mean, sure, don't we all?" And he's like, "I'll buy a bunch of retics and you keep them, feed them, breed them, and we'll split the profit." Like, cool.
Sign me up. Let's go.
Didn't know shit about it.
Let's go.
But I did it. And
you gotta get that werewolf. You gotta get that werewolf killer.
The werewolf killer. All right, so
gargoyle.
Guys, so Sam Woods wants to know, what was your guys' first year of retics like? And he started in October of 22, and he's got 12 right now. So what was your guys' first year like?
I got one as a baby, and I had that one for like a year and a half, and then I got a male first because it was just gonna be a pet, but then I got a female, and I mean, it was gradual.
Yeah,
I didn't go
Chris.
crazy.
You didn't go Chris by
no. Like I got a female, and then maybe 4 or 5 months later, I got another one. I had like, I don't know, maybe 4 in like a couple years. But like, and what's right for me is not necessarily what's right for whoever.
Right.
You know,
I mean, I kind of
if you're like, if you're a kid and your parents, you live at home and you have like some big outbuilding and you don't have anything else to do, and you can properly care for them, and like, you know, you're not, you know, I don't know, who's to say that you can't keep them.
Well, I mean, that's like, I got same thing. I got a female tiger, my first one. I was like 14, you know, and I had her for a year or so, maybe a little under a year. Bought another female. Another 6 months later, then I bought a tiger or a male tiger, and then it just kind of snowballed a little bit at that point.
But you were when we were buying them, it was more like because you liked them. It wasn't like, I'm buying this to make money.
Well, not necessarily. I mean, yes, I liked them. I thought they were the coolest thing ever. But I also that was kind of at the height of the first albino retics were hatched, and I saw Bob.
Yeah, but that wasn't. It wasn't my first one like that. It
wasn't my first one was I wanted a retic because it was the longest snake in the world. I want to own that snake. You could buy them; they're not that expensive. Let me get one. So I got a tiger retic. But I always knew like I wanted to breed them because I knew you could make some money at them, and it was somewhat profitable, you know. And I always thought that'd be cool to hatch my own snakes and have my own baby snakes that came from my animals. But I didn't go crazy until I got a little older, you know, and had a better paying job where I could afford to go buy a bunch of snakes. But yeah, it was one here, year later, another one slowly. Which, yeah, I mean, like you said, what works for me and you doesn't work for everybody else at all.
Hey, Chris, remember that G stripe you had back in the day?
Mhm.
Did you buy that as an adult?
No, actually, those G stripes I got as babies from Bob.
Do you know? Do you remember if those were off the Wildcat or F1 hits?
They were,
I would assume because that was like 2010, 09, something.
yeah, something like that. I feel like they were F1s or F2s, something like that. So either off the hets. Not, I don't think they were off the Wildcat.
Yeah. How long did you have that snake till you got rid of it?
I mean, I raised it up and got. I think I only got one clutch from those, and then
Yeah, I know what you bred it to. I just didn't know how long you kept
Oh
it.
no, that was a different snake. I had G stripes. Are you talking about when I put the purple sun tiger to it? I think that was a different G stripe. Like I think I had like a trio or something like that of those back then. I did G stripe to G stripe, and then I did purple sun tiger to G stripe.
Well, my question is like, how old were they when you got rid of them, and how big were they?
They were probably 4 or 5 years old when I got rid of them, and shit, I don't know, 10 or 12 foot long. They were small.
Yeah, because I have one that's huge, and it's
your big one, the big GS. Yeah, that stinks.
But then, like all my other stuff, like I know the lineage of it all, like pretty much all of it. Not maybe one or two I don't. Like they are smaller. Now,
was that from my stuff or from other shit?
Some of my stuff's related to yours.
No, I mean the smaller stuff.
What about it?
Was the smaller stuff from mine?
Was it from yours?
Yeah.
No, not all of it. No, I have some of it from all different places, from Bob, from you, from Jay, from different people, but I have a lot of it traced back. So a lot of my Ghost GS stuff I know that came from Stan Shearis, through Ben and all that stuff. But like the stuff nowadays, you have no idea what it's going to get. But a lot of the stuff I have is I know the genetics of it back in like they are smaller.
Oh yeah.
I was just curious because I knew yours were older lineage, so I was just curious of how old and how big they got.
What's the the lineage of the what's his name? Is that super the supposed super tiny GS stuff?
Cliff.
Cliff.
Do we not want to touch on that? I'm genuinely curious. Like, does anyone know lineage of that?
Jay.
Cliff.
It's all Jay.
Yeah. A lot of it came from Jay, but I think some of his. So Jay did breed an albino stripe, I know, to import Super Dwarf, and they got like one male or something.
That snake is fucking tiny, man.
So they got one male, and that some of his stuff is descendant from that. So it has. I'm not saying all or a lot, but like a couple of his G stripe stuff has Super Dwarf in it, and it's older stock.
Yeah.
So I'm not surprised it is smaller. Like I don't think he's totally bullshitting people.
It's small.
It's small, but like to say it's Super Dwarf, I've told him I don't think you can because you don't know the percentage, and Jay or Tim can't tell him. Right. It was so long ago, I think Tim's having health problems or something. But
doesn't not to cut you off, doesn't Jay have a monster, like a giant albino genetic stripe? I remember seeing a picture.
That
one is related to my big one.
Okay.
So I had a big ass sun stripe back in the day, probably 2016 or so.
You had one?
She was big.
Yeah.
Was she from Jay?
I don't remember who I got her from. I definitely don't know who produced it.
That picture the picture I'm talking about, Travis, of Jay putting that one into one of the taller enclosures he's got like up on his shoulder, and that snake looks like it's bigger in diameter than like a 5-gallon bucket. It's huge. It's fucking huge.
A G stripe?
Yeah.
Yeah, he has. It's a
giant.
I think it's a purple, isn't it?
I think it might be. I don't know if it's the angle of it, but that is one of the most monster. I mean, that's a big snake.
He said it was like 18, 19 foot.
Yeah, that's a big snake.
And the one I have is like 17 and a half.
Big.
That's a big G-stripe.
She's a fucking big snake.
She's big. And I put her on diet too. And she's big, but she's like, and some of his hets were like 17 foot.
Jesus.
But
Imagine,
he has other ones like Cliff got that are from that super, but like you don't know. So maybe
nobody kept track of the lineage, so you don't know what's
yeah,
what,
and
and
it's like
everything's
okay,
fucking
it's
mixed.
2 or 3 generations from that, so it's got original stripe blood and it's got super dwarf blood in it, but like we don't know what locality, we don't know
Right.
percent then, so it's small, but like
Yeah.
so you could say it's small. Like I told him you'd have to breed it back into super dwarf or something to like, and then just call it that percentage.
Yeah,
And you can say
that's
it's
the
from,
easiest way to do
it's
it.
from okay, it's from a 9-foot female, and you know.
Yeah. What's your guys' opinion on all that? Because I'm genuine. So there was that post. I think it was on The Nation where they were talking about like breeding. I think it was Garrett was originally talking about breeding like a super dwarf male to a mainland female, or vice versa. What's going to make smaller offspring, or what? Like what do you guys like? What's your guys' thought on that? Like, do you think it matters, or is it kind of just random?
I honestly don't know if it matters. Like my first clutch 50% super dwarfs was like 2011, and I power fed them, and they got fucking
Big.
huge.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I used mainland male to super dwarf female, but I don't know if anybody's actually sat down, done super dwarf male to mainland female, and then mainland male to super dwarf female of similar genetics, similar sizes, and then raise that shit up for 10 years. Because, I mean, we don't really know. We used to think
exactly
50% super dwarfs were going to be 10 foot until we got them to 8, 9, 10 years old, and we're like, oh shit, they're like 12, 13 foot. Like,
yeah.
I don't think enough research has been done.
Because I was just I think back like I look at it anything else, right? Lizards, dogs, they're not all going to be the same size. They should the most of them should, but you're going to have outliers. Like even people, right? Like my sisters are average height. My dad and my parents are average height, but I'm not. I'm way bigger. So it's like, why couldn't that? It's the same with snakes, I would imagine, and everything else. You're going to have smaller. You're going to have bigger animals. So
I agree.
There's no way to know. So
I don't. If I was a betting man, I don't think it matters as far as male or female. But we also don't feed our males. Most people like females,
right?
And so there's a factor there. But like, I'm not saying it's false either, because like if you look at like the Liger stuff,
right?
Yeah. So you have a certain sex that controls the growth.
Yeah, I've seen that shit in person.
Has that been studied in snakes? Do we know? Because like some of the biggest retics I've seen caught like in Indo are fucking males.
Well, yeah, and didn't what's his name? Patrick Powers, who used to work for Jay. Didn't he? I remember he had I think it was Patrick Powers or somebody had pictures of a giant tiger male, huge 20-foot male. I mean, it's and didn't Aubrey and Samson, didn't they have a big A male too that was sister to Twinkie that was giant? 17
Jay got that animal too, I think, and it was like 19-foot male.
And those were siblings. So I mean, right? So it's I don't know. I'm in the mindset too. I don't think it really. I don't think it matters.
I think breeding smaller to smaller obviously is a thing. Yeah. So if you have a 12-year-old female that's only 10 foot or 12 foot, like it's obviously smaller genetics.
Yeah.
So that helps obviously.
Well, I mean, how long have we been doing crosses? We're still, in my eyes, we're still in the infancy of it to know potential size and shit like that.
Yeah.
But like, like they're doing the genetic testing with ball pythons and they're starting to do it with retics. Like maybe they will find, I don't think it's true, but like maybe they'll find like the Liger scenario.
Yeah. Well, isn't it? I read on years ago, I was really into that, the hybrid. I still love all the hybrid stuff, right? But I remember reading something on the Ligers, and I think so a Liger is, I don't remember if it's a female tiger to a male lion or what. But
I think yeah.
But then the opposite, I think they call it Tigon or something, and that's like supposed to be smaller than the. So I don't. Yeah. So I mean, if that's true, then
that's what I'm saying. Like in the tigers, so a tiger, I don't know if it's the male or female, has the growth hormone, like the gene for that, and it's the opposite in lions.
Yeah.
So when you do it one way, they basically have gigantism and they don't stop growing.
Well, Michael Voorhees is saying they don't all get that big, and he knows his cat, so I don't know.
I was gonna say Joe Exotic was like 45 minutes south of us, and we've seen those fuckers in person, and they're insanely huge.
Yeah.
But I don't know how all that genetics work.
Do you know why Joe doesn't like Christmas? Because he doesn't like carols.
Me and my wife ate fucking Thanksgiving there one time.
Really?
And after seeing that documentary, I'm just like, God damn.
Was this place a complete shithole like you would expect, or was it actually fairly decent?
It wasn't bad, but you could tell like there was some shady shit.
Yeah. A lot of those little hole in the wall zoos I feel are like that.
Yeah.
That's funny.
Like, I mean, you got that vibe anyways that like, hey, it's not worth anything, let's go put a bullet in it.
Yeah. Fuck, man. Yeah, that's funny. It was just something I was curious because I see that, but I know again I'm not into I follow it a little bit. I know enough, but I don't know it as well as probably you guys do. So I was curious what your guys' thoughts.
I'm not saying it's false, but I don't think it matters.
Yeah.
I don't think we've done enough research to figure it out.
Yeah, maybe like you said, maybe that genetic testing stuff, maybe they can kind of pinpoint.
I hope so, man.
Or something. That'd be cool.
I've sent in. I've dropped off so far. I still got a bag to send in, but I'm collecting sheds from every different morph I have.
Cool. That's cool.
It's only going to help the hobby.
Oh, 100%.
I mean, who wants to breed a pot set when you can guarantee it?
Yeah. Yeah.
I've bred a lot of pot sets, and they all prove.
Hey, I've done it too.
Every 66% that I've bred proved every time, even the pos doubles.
My super dwarf citrons were 50%.
But 50%'s like I don't have that good luck. But I'm not new to this, so I can see a lot of hets.
The citron was easy for me, so
yeah. Well, like
it wasn't too bad.
I can see a het stripe sometimes. I can see a het anthrax. I can see a het pied. I can see if you've studied or been around them long enough or made enough of them, you can tell. Like a lot of them have, not all, but a lot of them have, for
the most part, a lot of that stuff you can pick up fairly easy.
Okay, let's say your orange glow stuff you just made, the orange glow anthrax stuff.
Mm-hmm.
I bet you can tell the hets.
The het anthraxes?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think. There's some in there for sure. That
you might be wrong on a couple, but I bet you like 80 to 90% of them you can tell.
You got those extreme ones that like there ain't no way. Like
so I'm saying,
there ain't no way.
So like, why would you be scared to buy a pos head? I don't get it. Some people just won't buy them.
Well, I would buy a pos head if I had the markers I was looking for. Absolutely.
Right. So I'm saying, but some people won't even gamble.
Yeah.
Like I got a lot of stuff, lot less money. Because I'm like, that looks pretty promising, and I took a chance, and it worked.
Do yours look like granite backs?
I had some that looked really, really good. Really good.
But even the hets in the albinos, like the T positive albinos, like they have darker eyes.
Yeah. Well, like even it was really easy to tell with the blonde stuff. Like Taylor and Nikki got my holdback male before I made the visual anthrax. That snake, dude. I think I made 4 blonde tigers that clutch, and the 3 all look the same. And this one male, dude, is completely classic pattern, speckles all over the place, super dark ruby. It had all the key. I would say I told him I'm 99.9% positive this is a het anthrax. If it doesn't, I would be absolutely shocked.
That one I got from you was obviously
that was out of the other clutch. Yeah,
that one was obvious, plain as day het.
Yeah. So like even the hogs, like you look at the hog stuff, super easy to tell for the most part.
Oh yeah,
pies are pretty fucking easy, especially in the tigers. I think
to me, hogs and citrons are pretty night and day.
Yeah, they do look similar, or they do look different. They do have different.
You can tell each of them.
Yeah,
het hypo's pretty easy.
Yeah,
for sure. For sure, that's an easy one.
Het stripe is harder, but you can still see it, especially in certain combos.
Like anthrax?
What?
Like anthrax in the het. You can see.
You can tell.
I know. Talking about my girl.
I know.
I know we kind of talked. I don't know if you guys want to touch on it. We talked about the culling, like which me personally, I think we have to. I think you have to. It's certain
if your choice
scenarios.
is to breed multiple clutches because you want XYZ from these different breedings, like you kind of almost have to. I don't like culling though and just throw them in the trash. Like I'd rather like. So I
Use them
have
for
some.
something.
Well, I have some people that I know that have king cobras, and I send some stuff to them.
Yeah.
Because to me, then it's like, what's the difference between a rat?
Yeah.
Like nothing has. I don't think anything should suffer. Everything has to eat though. So
I give
like,
them my monitor.
but okay, yeah. But I'm saying like, I don't like. I'm not just gonna cull a bunch of shit and throw it in the dumpster.
Right. No.
I'd rather send it to these couple people I know and I trust that they're gonna feed it to this and they're not gonna like sell it again. You know.
Yeah.
I've never culled, but I made a clutch this year that was supposed to be 50% super dwarf, wasn't, and like I'm just on the fence, like what to do.
Yeah.
I hate putting out more basically normals. I mean, they're double hit purple titaniums, but basically normals, and I don't have my crocodile anymore, so I can't just feed them off. But I'm like Travis, like I'm not just going to throw them in the trash.
Yeah.
So
they got to have a use for sure.
Right. Monitors, cobras, crocs, it's got to go to something, or like the people that do the oddity shit and put them in formaldehyde or do the skeletons. Like it's.
I have a problem with a lot. Too. I have a problem with a lot for a long time of how people would cull. Nobody wants to talk about it though. But
let's talk about that shit right now. Like, what's ethical?
You need to obliterate the brain.
Yeah.
That's the only if you get shot in the head with a 50 cal, a 500 Smith & Wesson, you didn't feel shit.
Because I grew up where
back in the day they say it's not painful, but
my veterinarian was like, just put it in the freezer. That's the easiest and most humane way to do it.
Yeah, but it turns out it's not. Nowadays we know, and people still do that though, and I think it's easier for you.
Yeah.
You don't have to see it.
Right.
But and I'm not shitting on you because that's at the time that's all people knew. So if that's all you know, that's all you know.
That's why I say let's talk about it now, because the newer people may not.
But nowadays you can do, which nobody's gonna do, but like a lethal injection, but that costs money unless you have a vet friend.
Right.
But they're not gonna hand that shit out because you can fucking put it in your neighbor.
Or you slip and get it right in your finger.
Yeah. Fuck. Then they're on the line. It's their ass, their license, everything. You could, if you had enough of that shit, you could do something with it. You know what I'm saying? But
I even brought it up to I don't remember who it was because I got a shit memory, but just cutting the head off, and he was like, "No, because they can still feel that shit."
Mm-hmm. Like a rattlesnake can still bite you hours later.
Right.
They still feel it. The brain is there. The brain is what registers pain. So you need to obliterate the brain.
I mean, I've done it freezing. I've done it smashing the head before, which was horrible. I've done CO2. I've done.
Yeah, you can't do that.
CO2 was bad. That was not a good. I did it once.
The respiration rate is too low.
Yeah.
They can hold their breath, like 30.
Because I figured, I was like, it should be. I had a snake that got fucked up real bad. It was I had a snake that basically I fed it too big of a meal and it like literally blew a hole through the side of it. Like it had a hole in the side of the snake. I'm like, well, there's nothing I could do. So it was a bigger, like 7-foot male. So I CO2'd him, but I would never do it again. It was the only one I ever did. But it sucks. It sucks all quick. Because I do it with.
But what's best for them? What's best for them is the hardest for you.
Yep.
Yeah.
For sure.
It sucks, man. It
goes. I mean, if you live in the country and you want to waste fucking ammo, you could just, if you shoot them in the head, you do that. But like, you can't do that in the county.
A little baby retic, man, with fucking. What are you gonna? What the
shotgun?
Fuck?
But I'm saying everybody freaked out about the thing in Florida. Yeah. But like, that's technically the way that you should.
Well, they didn't scramble the brain though.
And they weren't doing everyone making sure they hit it right.
Right.
They're just doing them quick, which they're not dying quick. That's very inhumane.
Yeah.
But like, if that head is gone, that brain, you could do like, I've heard of people like years ago, they do like a nail and then you can scramble the brain. But like, I'm just going to say it right now. The couple times I've done it, if it's messed up, I use a fucking sledgehammer.
It sucks. It guts you, but
Yeah, that's fucking terrible.
And the first time I did it, I fucked up and I didn't do it good. I did it with a brick the first time. My wife fucking started crying. It fucked with me for like a week. It was not easy to do, but
that's the thing. Breeder guys that are breeding need to think about this.
Yeah,
if you're doing 6-7 breedings and you're sitting on potential 300 baby snakes,
yeah, you can be sitting there with a sledgehammer on the concrete.
Like, you got to fucking think about that's part of the reason too why I'm only trying to do 1 or 2 breedings a year. Yeah, I was
gonna say we have 3 people here that have been breeding for fucking a long time. I'm doing 3 if they ovulate. Probably just 1. You're doing 2 or 3.
Yep.
Travis is doing a few. Like,
I'm doing 6.
This right here should, show people what we see next year's market being. And it's not going to be great. Like, we're going to have to rough through it. We'll get past this.
Too, though, you got other bigger breeders, man, that have openly said, I have 20 gravid females, 25 gravid females. I have XYZ animals. Like,
I mean, if you can ship out of the country, maybe you can do that.
Right. So for me, if you can sell them, you can sell them. The Bob Clarks, the nerds, whatever. Like, you got to prepare for what your market is.
But Bob goes to Germany. Bob goes to Japan. Bob goes
exactly. That's what I'm saying.
I don't think these other guys.
They don't know.
No,
they don't have a clientele.
A lot of the older guys that are doing those lots of breedings they're not shipping their shit overseas. Like, they ain't shipping them to Germany and stuff. At least I don't think so. I find out
I don't know anymore.
Yeah, I don't know.
I don't see it. I think it's.
I know Bob used to ship a lot of stuff overseas, and so did Jay.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah, I think they are. Yeah, I don't know if Jay is, but yeah, I think that's a big thing. I think a lot of guys don't even think about, like, what do I do if I got all these babies and I can't? I'm gonna have to call them. I think that's better than them just getting out into the market to these people that don't understand them and are going to just neglect them, and then it's going to.
See, that's what I was saying with my dilemma. Like, I've never cold ever. I've cold stuff that needed to be, the sick, dying, messed up, whatever. But
it's hard to
debating it.
It's hard to just cull something that's nothing wrong with it.
Right.
Yeah.
It's not. It hurts you in the heart.
Yeah, it sucks, but
so just
honestly,
to me, that's why you just don't breed it.
Right.
Don't breed shit.
If you don't want that shit yourself, don't breed it.
Yeah, unless I need, like, I'm doing a couple breedings, but I want stuff from every one of them, so I'm not like inbreeding stuff. So I'm doing, ocelot to a couple key females I have, and I'm keeping a couple things from each clutch. And they're small females where I'm only going to have like 12 to 20 egg clutch, and then I'm sure I'll sell a few, but I've also too, like, to not fuck up a multi-recessive market, I've sold stuff as not hits.
Yeah.
Oh, I do that shit all the time.
Yeah, I do.
I want a platy tiger, blah, 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 blah. Head anthrax. Well, mine's het for 4 other things, but I'll sell it to you as a head anthrax.
Yeah,
that's what you want. At least it's going to a good home, because otherwise, well, I'm not paying that much for that because I don't need all that.
Yeah.
It's like,
as long as I know it's going to a good place.
Yeah.
That's what matters.
But I'm not going to tell you what it is unless you're paying for it.
Yeah. I've seen at the local reptile store here, Chicago Reptile House that Brian Potter owns. I went in there once. He had some baby retics he got from, I think it was Bob, tigers and stuff, and you could tell they were het pied, like 100%. I'm looking at them like, those are fucking het pieds, And this
and maybe they're pos hets, and Bob didn't want to fuck with it, so you just
they look.
Well, Bob used to set up at shows here, and they'd be het G stripes or het pieds, and Jeff would always tell me, like, I can't tell you what it is, but it's definitely het for something.
Yeah.
Like,
oh, Jeff. So I don't know. So in my notes that I had morph market drama, or do you guys want to talk about, like, do we want to touch on the Samson or the Rodney stuff or any of that stuff? Because that seems to be a big hot topic right now. Do we even want to talk about any of that or no?
I don't care. I'll talk about anything.
I mean, I don't give a shit, but
yeah, I mean
if you still support Samson in this day and age, you fucking knew better.
Oh yeah,
100%.
I give a pass for people that did business with him, including myself, because I did before those pictures came out.
Yeah.
Well, I was gonna say that. Like, I know you did, but that was a long ass time ago.
My last dealing with him, I did a trade in 2020 for one snake. But
yeah.
That's
you know, and the thing is you hear people say, "Oh, well, you everyone knew his shit was a disaster." Which, yes, I mean those pictures, you know, the pictures where he's got the sterilite tubs with the fucking what do you call them? Oh my god, the bungee
those
cords wrapped
pictures,
around
though,
them.
those pictures were a lot
Oh,
longer ago than what.
But I'm
now.
saying, so you look at those and how shitty, like just the cages with all the nastiness, that was bad, right? Like those were obviously shit pictures then. So yeah,
that was stuff from like 2016, whatever.
We knew it was bad, but like the level that those pictures were at is just on a whole.
Dude, I had
no
idea. No idea. Like you said, I mean, he's a used car salesman.
Yeah.
He blows a lot of smoke up your ass.
He's very, very, very good at talking.
Yeah.
I'll give him that. Like, if you weren't dealing with something alive, like that motherfucker could sell anything.
Dude, he ropes them newer people in, man. He's got the whole allure. He's got, you know, all the snakes.
But I'm saying, like, if that dude sold, I don't care what it is, jewelry, crack, I don't know. I'm just saying, like,
he's a salesman.
Why has he got to be a live animal? Like, that dude could sell anything. That dude could sell you your own fucking shoes. You know? Like,
they ain't lying.
Yeah, the dude can talk. And it's just like, I don't know. I mean, I get it. And I give people a pass from a long time ago. Or like, even when he came back, a lot of people gave him a second chance. Is that wrong?
I did that.
No. Well, I'm saying that I get it. You know, you give him a second chance, but like, you start going down the same fucking shitty path, and like, and a lot of people just mindlessly support it, or they say they don't, but they still get shit from him. It's like,
I knew in 2020 when I did that.
I know who all you motherfuckers are that get shit from him, and a lot of people don't say anything.
There's a lot of bigger guys that just say nothing, but have a lot of snakes from him and are doing stuff with him. You know?
To me, if you can see those pictures and have any contact with that motherfucker, you don't need to keep animals.
Yeah.
I don't care. Like that oh man, it gutted me. I've seen, you know, dirty cages and shit going to places and, you know, turn a blind eye because it is what it is. But like, that was so fucked up.
And even if they are from like multiple years, that's enough fucking pictures to know that it's not like a one here and there.
Yeah, I mean,
it's gonna happen again.
You have hundreds and hundreds of pictures. I mean, yeah, it's not a one-off.
There's other shit that I've heard that wasn't even fucking said or shown.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, I'm sure a lot of shit got, you know, brushed under the rug and no one took pictures of it.
Yeah, a lot of other very criminal things.
Yeah. I think there's like a sulcata picture, but the thing looks like it's crying, dude. That like broke my heart, man. I was like, Jesus.
Big cats.
I couldn't look at them all.
Kinkajou in the freezer or whatever that thing was, right? All sorts of just what the hell, man. But yeah, it's anybody that supports him at all in any fashion, I think is you're in the wrong.
I mean, there's even more. There's fucking there's grooming. There's fucking.
I heard all
that. That's just
possible dead body.
Yeah, fuck, man.
I don't know. I'm not saying it's true. I don't know. I didn't ever see a picture of that. But like, there's enough other shit that I wouldn't surprise me.
Yeah, it just blows my mind how he hasn't gotten like arrested.
That motherfucker can talk, man, and he moves.
Yeah.
He's moving.
I was gonna say, I think that move is what saved him.
Yeah. Because he went from North Carolina to South Carolina, right? Is that where his new place is? South Carolina, I think.
I think so. I don't know.
Something like that. It was one of the two.
Yeah. It's fucking insane, man.
I think he's moved a couple times though when he was in North Carolina.
Really?
I don't know. I think.
I don't know, man. I don't know. That's a whole. I think that could be a whole 2-hour convo, man. Talking about all of that drama there. What about? I don't know. What else you guys want to talk about? I mean, the only other thing I really
let's talk
have
about
left.
Morph Market.
Okay. What do you? I personally, I like Darian. I like Darian a lot.
I do too.
I like him, dude. He don't fuck around. A lot of people get so bent out of shape by his memes and stuff. Dude, he's not posting on the Morph Market shit. So what does it matter? It's his personal.
He's
Facebook
a person.
Page. Like
He's a person just like you and me. So when people bitched about him taking crocodiles off the homepage, you have to actually search for it.
Mm-hmm.
I've been keeping Cayman and Croc since 2008. That's a good thing because most people don't keep them right. Like, it is what it is, man. Like, if I see it all the time where, hey, where can I get a Nile? Where can I get a Salty? Where can I get a Morlets? If you don't fucking know those people,
you don't need
it.
Yeah.
Like,
where can I get a fucking tiger?
But it's like you said, though. He didn't even pull them off Morph Market. They're there.
Right.
There's people don't look.
They're still there.
Yeah.
I looked at them yesterday. You know, they're there. That's the problem. It's people bitch and cry and they jump to conclusions. But I just
when he first did it, I was like, oh, what the fuck? You took Crocs off, but they're still there. So I was like, okay, it makes sense. Like you're making the hobby safer in making it last longer because some jackass isn't going to go buy a damn Nile or Cuban or whatever without knowing how to do it.
Yeah.
Or he's trying, whatever.
I just don't see what all the. I really just don't see what all.
There was less drama before Darian, but
it's because John wasn't as. And I'm not saying anything bad about John because he's.
Well, I was gonna compare it to, let's say, fucking Donald Trump. Okay, here's my perspective on Donald Trump, whether you like him or not. Many presidents before Donald Trump, they didn't have Twitter.
Yeah.
So they could have had all kind of fucked up ideas or vision or viewpoints, but they couldn't just broadcast them at a whim. You know, what if freaking JFK or Kennedy or Reagan or Clinton or back, George W. What if they could have posted on Twitter?
Yeah.
What kind of riled up mess could they have done? Just they might have had some fucked up viewpoints, but they couldn't broadcast them like that.
Yeah.
So I'm saying, like, John or Darian, Darian just posts a lot. If he never said anything, he could still have the same viewpoints. You just wouldn't know.
Well, and the problem is, it's his personal page. So if you don't like his viewpoints, but you like his platform, then don't follow him on Facebook.
Yeah.
Right. Fucking don't follow Darian. Go follow Morph Market. Then you don't have to see anything.
Block is one click away.
Right.
Yeah.
It's wild. Like I guess I just don't see. I hear all this drama. Everybody, like a lot of people, but I don't see it. I don't understand.
Well,
what the issue is.
We could talk about that. If you
What do you think? Do you like him? I mean, you like
me?
Yeah, you like Darian. You've talked to him, right?
I've talked to him on the phone once.
Yeah.
And I met him at a show once, but I didn't. I just said, hi, I introduced myself. But I don't have a problem with him. I know a lot of other people do. He seemed fine to me. And I mean, if that's who's going to run the platform, it's a free country.
Yeah.
If you don't like it, you don't have to use it. I like Morph Market. I've been using Morph Market a long time, but there's still, King Snake or Fauna or whatever you want to do. Or have your own web page, which some people do. If you're talking about the drama, like the Bob Clark stuff, I mean, I got kind of berated at Tinley. And that's fine,
Wait, by Bob or other people?
All of them.
So I got called out by Bob at fucking NERBC, but I wasn't there.
Well, Bob.
The Arlington show.
Bob was there. Xavier. The time when I was getting a lot of questions, but Bob, Xavier, Nick, Sal, what's his name? With Titan. Keith. They were all hanging out around Sal's table. We had a lot of questions, and that's fine. They all have.
They had questions about what? About it was the nation, right? Like
they had questions about the nation, and they had questions about the Morph Market stuff. And it's hard for me to answer the Morph Market stuff because, like, I don't fucking run Morph Market,
right?
So I can see multiple sides to that. what I think Darian could have done better, if we're gonna be fair, because I like to be fair. I don't care who's right
Oh
or
yeah,
wrong, or if you like the person or not. But if we're
I'm
gonna be
about
fair,
proof.
yeah, I'm about the truth and prove it. That's what I'm gonna say is. So Bob had an issue, which with Darian, which we all saw and know about. Darian made claims that Bob had a lot of negative reviews, and like I guess some of them were hidden reviews or something
Most
like
of them
that.
were.
Yeah. Okay. Did he show those to Bob? Did he show those to anyone, or did he just say that?
That's the only thing I wish he would have done. I mean, he
Could
could have
we?
blacked
Yeah.
out the name, redacted it, whatever.
Yeah, but if we're going to be clear and fair about this, in Bob's defense, whether you like Bob or not, I don't have as big a problem with Bob as some people do, but I don't think Bob's perfect. Bob has problems. And, we're being fair though, but like Darian, if you have XYZ proof of 200 or 500 or whatever negative reviews, then you should probably show those or show those to Bob. If you're not showing them, it creates doubt. Maybe it kind of looks like you're picking on them.
Yeah, like I'm not a big fan of Bob. Like,
and if he does have all those reviews and Darian wants to take them off, then fuck him. If it's true, I'm for the truth. I don't care what side you're on. The truth is always going to be the truth, and that's the right way. So I like Darian. I don't have a problem. I don't have a problem with Bob. I don't have a problem with Darian. But like, it needs to be transparent.
Yeah. Well, like I said, I'm not in support of Bob. I don't like some of the stuff that he does. But I still defend him on a lot of shit where you got to see the proof.
Yeah.
It's there. Mm-hmm. Just take the damn name off. Like, that's all it takes.
It was brought up to me a couple times too about how Darian made a post of nobody should own Retics or something like that. And I don't remember if that was on Darian's page or the Nation.
I don't think it was his page. Yeah, it wasn't the Nation.
Bob shared it anonymously.
Okay, I don't know because I didn't take it down and I didn't see where I saw that for a split second somewhere, but I don't remember.
I guess Weston made it public, and
Bob
took it as a strike against him, and
but other members of the Nation brought that concern up.
That's where I was going with that.
I was going to say, that's what I always
that
hear.
Have brought that up.
That's what I hear all the time. He doesn't think people should own them.
And I think I thought he retracted that statement, saying
he did.
People could, if they're responsible, could own Retics. I mean, it's a free country. I think you ought to be able to own whatever you want as long as you're responsible.
He told me, or he posted that he actually has sold Retics out of his pet store. So,
he's got crocodilian, he's got alligators.
Right. So I think
he's just for responsible keeping.
And I think the way he worded it isn't how he meant it.
Right.
In my opinion, that's how I take it as.
That's how I took it.
But people are freaking out over it.
Yeah. But I was getting a lot of questions, and I didn't have every fact to give it back, and I was like, this is bombarded, and I was, transparency. Everybody needs to be honest. If they were like, well, he shouldn't be a part of the page if he thinks that. Well, I thought he retracted it, and I don't remember. I didn't see it on the Nation. I saw it, but I thought it was his page, and then
I think it was his.
So much stuff happened and got posted and shared and then deleted, and I fucking have a day job, so I couldn't look who was deleting it and posting it and respond. So I did see that he said that. I'm not saying he didn't say that, but I thought he retracted it too, and that post got removed, or I don't even know. I thought it was on his own page. Deleted. Yeah, or if it was on his own page, then I don't. What do you want me to do about it? But
he did change the way he worded it, because it didn't. Yeah. It made it look like he was saying nobody should own Retics. But that's not what he meant.
If that's how he felt, or if he thinks that, then maybe they have a valid point. But I don't know. I didn't sit there and watch the screen play by play the whole time. Yeah. Whatever day that was. And it got retracted. I don't know. But to be on other people's side or Bob's side or whatever, he should show that transparency. I like Darian though. If we're summing it up, I like Morph Market. Darian's fine. Bob's fine with me. You know, I don't have a problem with any of them, but you know, there should be transparency on all sides.
Yeah. Yeah, I agree.
And if they continue to have a problem, they need to talk it or figure it out themselves.
Well, that's where me and Bob have the issue, because Bob is not happy with me because he constantly keeps putting up, you know, Morph Market stuff or this or that, and I keep pulling it down because we all know he's poking at it, right? Poking at it, just trying to get a fucking reaction. So,
well, I mean, I'm sure it hurt his business.
Yeah, I'm sure.
Definitely.
I'm sure it did.
So, business or personal, if you want to separate it or not. I mean,
he lost his ability to do the auctions, and then he lost the ability to sell on Morph Market. So I'm sure that was a huge blow.
Wait.
I feel for him.
Wait, he lost. He was doing auctions on Morph Market?
No. He was doing auctions on Facebook, and then he got that banned.
I didn't know that.
That's why he doesn't do auctions on Facebook anymore.
Yeah.
Oh, but that's not related to Darian, is it?
No, definitely not. No, that happened before.
Is that just like a Facebook thing?
Yeah.
Because I thought he couldn't.
The way I understand it, was just
because I thought Facebook was like anti all animal sales, and then I thought he got that back because he was actually like a brick and mortar.
I don't
remember.
I don't think he's doing auctions anymore, and I'm pretty sure that was Facebook.
That's news to me. I didn't know that, but whatever.
I thought I heard that Darian or somebody, there was some, like, Darian wanted him to apologize or make a video apologizing for some reason, and he would have let him back on Morph Market, and then Bob wouldn't do it. So it's like, I don't know. If you want to be back on, do that, give your apology video. But I also understand another part. I'd be like, fuck you, I ain't apologizing if I think I'm right. So it's like, I see both sides.
Yeah, if I was Bob and I thought I was right, I'd do the same thing. Like,
absolutely. So it's...
But...
You know, do you want to sell or do you not?
But whether we agree with Bob or Darian or whoever, like, are we supposed to be the referee? Like, I can't do shit to make Darian do what he wants. He has all the money and bought the damn thing.
Well, that's why I deleted off fucking the nation, dude. Because I'm like, we don't need it. We've been through it. We ran those circles already. Like, move on.
Yeah.
I do want to announce though to people. I think I can speak for all of us that, as far as Retic Nation goes, like, we've all talked and we want Retic Nation to be more open. We don't want people to feel like things are hidden. You know, transparency is good. If you have a legitimate complaint or something that's new, that's not like from 5 years ago, you know, by all means, post it. I mean, some ridiculous shit's just you can't have. But like, we're not trying to hide people's things or show favoritism. Like, I've learned a lot of that stuff with my new job stuff. Yeah. Is like, if you're going to be in management or whatever, you can't show favoritism.
Yeah.
Like, there's fucking HR departments. I don't give a fuck how big a head you think you've got. There's some HR somebody that's going to fuck you up the ass. Like,
I may not like you, but on the nation, I am unbiased.
Right.
That's what I'm saying.
I'll go to bat for Bob.
Which is why I was saying what I was saying, that Bob has a point. What I'm trying to say is we want more transparency. We don't want people to feel that they are, you know, we're on this team or that team or whatever. And that's kind of,
we're all on the same team. We all need to work together. We all need to be each other.
And I think that's why I think originally that's why the adding more admins was a thing, because we try to make it better. And then, like, I mean, a bunch of shit happened and things fell apart. And some people left that weren't supposed to leave, and I don't know. Yeah, it was nuts. But
I mean, even since then, like, I just I feel like the whole mentality kind of like I just feel like we're more divided ever since that moment. You know,
I feel like the vibe isn't there, but I hope that one day it will be.
Yeah,
we're trying to get it back to a fun Retic environment, and it's gonna take time. People bitch, and it's gonna take time.
There's got to be rules, though. I mean, there's no sales, no feeding pictures, no, like, full on like hate speech bashing
Right.
people.
Well, that's the thing. I mean, Facebook can take the group down like that.
That's what I'm saying. That
that's what I'm worried about.
I don't think some people realize that.
That's why I'm so strict on there.
Yeah.
Like it's not because I don't like you. It's not because you posted something I didn't like. I don't want that group gone.
That has so much history and I mean, that's the thing I think people don't realize is how, I mean, been there since day one. I mean, it's been 12, I don't know how many years, 12 years or so, 13 years or whatever it's been. I've been on there every day.
There was only like, when the Facebook group started, there was like 100 or 2 people.
I've been on there every day since that page has been started, 12 years, 13 years, every day. So like, I've seen it all, right? I mean, most of it, I think you guys were there right off the bat too. So it's like, dude,
I was on the forums back in the day.
Well, that's how it started.
There was there was monster snakes, Chris.
Well, we were fighting with Harry, right? And then it turned into, well, fuck everybody. The boards are starting to be a pain in the ass. Let's go to Facebook. And
back then, I didn't. There's a long time. I just like lurked. I didn't fucking say shit.
Yeah, but that's
I try to like kind of be humble, like when I'm new or don't know anything, I'm not gonna fucking start posting. It looks stupid.
Yeah.
I try to, you want to be respectful of the people that were there before you, unless they just want to just fall off a cliff and act like an asshole.
Yeah.
But
yeah, I mean that's my mentality with everything, right? You want to try to respect your elders in a way, the people that came before you, but sometimes you got to fucking put them in their place and just like they're fucking up. Like you got to fix your shit. Times are changing, I mean, 10 years from now, we may have the younger groups, if we're still all doing this, like getting on our ass about stuff.
I've been saying it for the past couple of years. The newer people getting into reptiles, not just retics, reptiles, have taught me a lot. And we can evolve as we go. We don't have to be sediment in what we do.
Right. Yeah.
And everybody has different means as far as what they can afford or do.
Oh yeah.
But that's where you need to be responsible. You can be an animal hoarder and have 3 animals. You can. If you have 3 animals and you can't take care of them, that's the definition of a hoarder. Or you can have 100 animals. If you can take care of 100 animals, technically you're not hoarding.
That's earlier this week. I posted the new setups that are behind me, and then pictures of my old shit. Mm-hmm. And I didn't do that to brag or whatever. I wanted to show where I came from and what I've learned and what I'm putting in place now. Like, we all grow. If you have a pegboard rack, I'm not going to make fun of you. I might try to give you tips on how to better it, but we're all growing. Like, we got to learn together.
But if you've been doing this 20 years and you say, well, that's just the way I've always done it.
That's the wrong answer.
You just because you always used to put them in the freezer, it don't mean it's the right way.
Exactly. Yeah, I love my Vision cages, though, Travis.
I mean, so do I. Shut up. I like Visions too.
I hate Vision.
I love my Vision cages. Fuck.
But like, I've had some snakes that are like 8. Well, one was 19 something feet. If you have a 19, 20, if you heaven forbid, not heaven forbid, it's awesome if you have a big snake like that. But like, let's face it, a 6-foot cage is not big enough.
Yeah.
And that we used to do that. I had
all the time.
I had 19-foot snake in 632.
So did I.
It fits in there if you clean it all the time, and it's not sitting in its own.
You feed it a 30-pound pig and it goes floor to ceiling.
Yeah, but I'm saying, like,
yep.
Don't let it sit in its own piss every day. Like, you got to.
Yeah.
They're in a box. In the wild, they can move out of their waste.
Yeah.
If they're in a box, it's your responsibility to clean it as often as you have to. But nowadays, it's kind of like that's not cool anymore. If you have a snake that big, you need to give it an 8 or 10-foot cage or a fucking room if you can. Like, who's that guy? He's got a croc monitor and he built like this whole fucking
Trav or whatever.
Yeah, that's me. That's me. No, but he built like a whole room with logs and trees and like misters and like people have asked me for why don't you get monitors because a croc monitor is my favorite, but I know
me too.
That I cannot keep a croc monitor properly.
Yeah.
I just can't. Like, I would want to give it a bedroom or something like that. And it's just, I can't, so I don't have one.
Yeah.
I would love to have one. They're really cool. But it's just like, you can't fucking have an elephant living in the neighborhood.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, I would love to do eventually, if I ever get to the point, like I would love to do giant, like kind of like the 10 foot cages, I would love to get big, giant 10 foot, even do like 10 by 4s or something and put fucking big logs in there and stuff so my snakes can climb and shit.
I have a 10-foot cage coming.
Yeah, I mean,
like I was saying,
I
though,
still have to put driftwood and everything, but
yeah, like I was just saying, just because you can't have an elephant in the neighborhood, maybe you own 40 acres and you can have an elephant.
Yeah.
I don't think any of that stuff should be illegal.
Right.
I don't think we should judge people on what they're currently doing. It's what they're striving to do.
Yeah.
Like I can only afford the shit that I got this year because I downsized. And I mean that's what it is. Like the big breeders, they keep in smaller cages. It's part of it. Like it's not realistic to have giant ass enclosures for them.
No.
So we shouldn't bash them for it. That's what they've always done. It's
you gotta
what I
think
did.
too, like think about like a venom lab.
Right.
You're keeping you're milking snake. It's different than if you have like a rhinoceros viper as a display animal.
Right.
We should always strive to do better and best for our animals.
Yeah.
But we shouldn't judge people on not being able to. As long as it's healthy, they're keeping it well, they're doing the right stuff, they're trying to do better. We shouldn't like fucking beat them down.
Well, make sure you clean your stuff.
Yes.
I see a lot of people. I don't see a lot of people that have like they either have a lot of money or not a lot of money, and like this shit's filthy. I don't care. That's fucked up.
Yeah.
The thing that you have to be thinking about, like I was saying, if they take a dump in the wild, they could just keep on going.
Exactly.
If they take a dump, you're forcing them to be in a box, so you need to have the responsibility that
if you're using paper, you need to clean as soon as they shit and piss.
Yeah.
If you got bedding, spot clean. Like it's not hard.
Or say you have a 20-foot enclosure and it poops in the corner. Oh, maybe you could skip it.
Right.
Yeah, maybe you could skip it for a day or two because they're not like sitting in it.
Exactly.
But like if that snake's in like a 4-foot cage or something, heaven forbid, like it has no choice. You have to clean that.
Yeah. True story. What do you guys think? You guys got anything else you want to talk about or what?
Where's that?
Oh, there you go. US ARC. Boom. Yeah. Got to always support.
Every podcast I'm
US
on,
ARC.
I will always have a US ARC shirt on.
There we go. I was looking for mine. I couldn't find it.
You don't have like 5 or 6? Like
I got a few. Well, I kind of grew out of a couple of them, and my wife took one.
That happens.
My good one I have, the one that's actually mine, I could not find, so it's somewhere lost in my closet. But yeah, I mean, I think especially if you're doing retics, man, you gotta be a member for sure.
I mean,
so I'm going to say this real quick.
That's all we got.
Anybody out there that works with Ship Your Reptiles, whatever, they changed the platform and made it harder for me to donate. If we could go back to like the $5, $10, $20, that would help me. I donate every shipment, and it's like weird now. I'm old. I'm not good with tech.
Go to Redline. Redline makes it super easy.
Dude, I've been using Ship Your Reptiles since they fucking started. I can't change.
If they jack your shipping to $200 a box, you won't use them. But
I mean,
wait. So I'm lost here. You're saying that they don't have like the donate $1 or $5 thing anymore?
I don't. So it's just been since they changed the website, and I've got a shit memory.
I didn't even know they changed the website.
That's what I'm saying. I didn't know that.
They updated it, and it's
no shit.
different, and I don't know how to use it fully yet. But they used to have like donate $1, donate $5, donate $10, donate $20. And depending on the price of the snake I sold was depending on how much I donated. And I don't know if I just don't know how to work it now or what, but it's not as easy for me.
That's
and that was an easy thing for me to donate.
Yeah, on the red line, it's how it was on Ship Your Reptiles. But I mean, market shitty. I haven't sold a lot recently, but
Same.
I didn't know that, and if that's true, that sucks.
Yeah, I didn't.
It sucks for me, and maybe somebody in the comments can post up or whatever on like how to work it better, because I take that back, and it's gonna be fucked up for what I say. Samson is the reason I started donating on the Ship Your Reptile stuff. So he posted like you could donate, and I never knew that.
They praised him like many years back that he would always donate like $10 a shipment.
Yeah, so I didn't know you could do that previously, but before he mentioned it.
Yeah.
And like I said, I hate supporting him in any way, but he brought it to my attention that you could do that. And since then, I've always donated.
You have to.
And I still donate, but it's not as easy, I guess, when I do the shipments.
Well, Dax or Taylor, I don't know who it is saying you can round up. I don't know if that means there's a thing on there to round up.
I don't like rounding up. Like, I'm not gonna give 30 cents, 50 cents, 95 cents. Like, I want to donate 5, 10, 20, 100, whatever.
Wait, you don't want to pay McDonald's taxes for them when
Exactly.
they ask you if you want to round up?
Fuck.
That's what they all do. People think they're giving like, oh, I'm helping. Like, some of the money does
a tax write-off.
Yeah, the money does go to like help kids, I guess. But like, you're just letting
It's a tax write-off.
Yeah, you're just letting McDonald's get away with it.
Yeah.
Oh, you get taxed like 5 fucking times anyway.
What?
Yeah.
I mean, you guys think with USARK, you think we're ever going to get importation back or no? No,
I don't think we will.
Yeah, I agree.
Nope.
I agree.
I love USARK. I love how they fight for us, but I think it's a losing battle.
Yeah.
You were there when I asked Phil, weren't you, Jake?
Tinley?
No, in the group message.
Oh, yes. I do remember that.
Because I potentially knew some people that had some money. And that's why I asked that question.
Yeah.
Of, if I knew this and that, and I could get whatever money was needed, and I knew that it was going to go in a fund for getting retic importation back or any big snake importation, would it matter? And long story short, no, it wouldn't matter basically.
Yeah.
Because, and I mean, I don't know. I don't give a fuck it. I was trying to be hush hush, but like, there's retics in Puerto Rico.
Mm-hmm.
So it makes a hard argument to say, oh, they can never establish in any U.S. territories.
Right, they're like there.
Yeah, your argument, any argument you had, or any of those scientists that we had, is kind of like it's too late.
Yeah,
I don't think we shouldn't support them. They're all we have.
Puerto Rico is a different story.
It's a U.S. territory.
Yeah, but it's still south enough.
But I think that's what they're saying, right? Is if they can survive there, they should be able to breed and reproduce in the U.S.
Yeah, they could go.
Oh, well, they 100% can.
Yeah,
and that's the problem.
Yeah.
That's what they're saying. No matter how much money you got together, I think it's a waste in their opinion, because you would ultimately lose.
Yeah,
I can see that.
Yeah,
but USARK's all we've got, so I think we should support them no matter what. And I mean,
even if you're not supporting retics with USARK, you're still supporting the hobby.
Yeah, whether you got a ball python or whatever, it's all the same boat.
Exactly. It doesn't matter if you keep retics, crocodiles, corn snakes.
And they keep eyes on
supporting our hobby.
Yeah, and they keep eyes on all the legislation of potentially making things worse. So
yeah, I mean, because they're going to eventually come for everything. We're first on the chopping block.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
It's only a matter of time. But yeah, we have to donate. I think people should be members. I don't understand the point of you want to donate money to support them, but you won't be a member. I never understood.
To me, membership means more than donating.
The numbers. We need the numbers.
I've slacked this year, but previously I've asked everybody that bought a snake from me if they're a member, and if they're not, I buy them a membership.
Yeah, that's awesome.
As long as they buy it, I'll send them the money for it. Like, I don't care.
That's awesome.
Because the membership is what matters.
Yeah.
Wasn't Aubrey doing that?
Yeah. I think so.
That's cool. That's cool.
There's
a lot of people that do that, and that's, I mean, my fucking
like
dad and stepmom are U.S. Art members. Like,
yeah, I never thought about it till I forget who was talking, who brought that up, about like, yeah, the numbers, like when Phil or whoever goes to wherever to fight.
I wasn't gonna say that part.
What? Sorry.
Well, go ahead.
With the numbers, like going to fight.
I never knew.
I had no idea that. I guess I never even thought about that.
It makes us look. It makes us look bigger than we are.
Right.
Yeah. But I mean, it's a lot when you go, oh, we have 1,000 members, or you go there and say, hey, we got 75,000 members. Of course, it's
the other people are like, ooh.
Yeah, there's 75,000, you weirdos.
Numbers matter.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah, I don't know. It's fucking scary, man. But gotta support them. Yep. So.
Why aren't there more people asking questions? I want questions.
So there's what's your guys' opinion on keeping snakes with deformities that aren't life altering as pets?
I mean, I'm not gonna do it, but I'll give it to somebody that will.
Well, what's a deformity?
I've given corkscrew tails around. That's what I've done. Yeah.
I don't care if they keep it as a pet. You know.
Yeah. I mean,
a lot of people. I'll give you a deal. This hypo's got a kink tail and it's $100. They're gonna fucking breed it anyway.
Yeah.
And I've given the part that sucks.
It really is. I've given some away, some of the lower end stuff to friends that I know or buddies that want a snake, and I'll help them out and stuff. And yeah, I mean, I don't think there's anything wrong with keeping them as pets at all.
Not at all.
If they can shed and eat and poop and all that normal.
It's just like culling. If it's got to get home, what matters?
Yeah, okay, it's got small eyes or it's got a bent tongue or.
But see, then it comes back.
I mean, if it's all fucked up like real bad, and you gotta like help the thing shed every time and force feed it, then no, don't.
But see, then that
suffering is different.
For me, then that comes back to the Jaguar shit. Then we're breeding shit that has no neuro shit, and I don't care. Anyways,
okay,
man,
here we go.
They wobble, dude, like a motherfucker.
I'm not
disagreeing. I won't breed them.
So I like Jags. I like spider ball pythons too, but they found in ball pythons that actually it's not a brain neuro issue. It's part of the mutation that there's it's a not fully developed like inner ear.
Oh yeah, shit, that's right.
So throws their equilibrium off,
kind of like an equilibrium or vertigo type thing. And I mean that's why some are better or worse because it's how far it developed or not. But that's what they're kind of seeing in ball pythons with spiders and stuff. So like I don't think that their brain is fucked up per se. Like I don't think I don't think it's neuro like they got overheated in shipping and now they're fucked. Like it's part of the genetic though that I don't know if you can get rid of it. But like I've had several Jags and I have one and I mean it's a little squirt. It doesn't remember the fucking it does like this stuff or like if it's gonna eat or like if it's gonna like look up at the cage it'll kind of like do that but then it
writes itself.
Like it rewrites. It doesn't like crawl on its back or anything. And I got a Jag from Bob a long time ago. That motherfucker was perfect. Like it never wobbled at all that I could tell.
Yeah.
But I've seen some other ones like Jake. You had that one. That motherfucker was terrible.
Andrew's the one that had here for a while. That Andrew, that giant one, dude. That snake was the most fucked up I've ever seen. Which was funny because he got that. That was like the second clutch I think that.
Didn't you get that from Izzy? That came from Nerd.
From Ozzy.
Ozzy. That's what I meant, Ozzy.
But he got that snake, so that snake got shipped to my work, and because he was working, and I opened it, dude. And that snake was not very big, but a little bit. It wasn't too bad. That snake, as that snake grew, I mean, I think he still has her. She's giant, right? That snake wobbles so bad. I mean, there were days I was sitting here because we were trying to do the Super Jags before we found out all the issues about that, and I told Andrew, I'm like, dude, you're gonna have to come get her or call her or something because. Imagine a 16, 17 foot, probably 125 pound snake that fucking flips all up. Dude, that snake was so dangerous. Like trying to get her out, she would like wrap up my arm because she's all off balance, dude. I hated it. I hated cleaning her. I hated messing with her. It was feeding her sucked. Dude, it was so bad. And after that, I was like, I'm done. I'm not doing any more Jaguar shit. And then I ended up getting another Jaguar female. Like,
I've had a lot of spider balls over the years, though. I've only had one that was real bad.
Yeah.
Yeah, I used to breed spiders back in the day, and like some were bad, some weren't. Most of my shit wasn't that bad.
Have you guys noticed, like with those, like did they get worse over time? Because that's what I thought. I thought it was like an age thing. Because like I said, Andrews was not that bad when he got it.
The one I had that was bad, it got worse. Yeah.
Yeah.
But all the other ones that were fine were always the same.
I feel like they just got bigger, and it was
more
noticeable,
more exaggerated.
Yeah.
That's weird. Yeah, no, this one was bad though. That Jaguar, that big one was fucking.
There's a lot of them though that they don't have problem. Like they have. I'm not gonna say they don't have a wobble because they do. But
all the ones that I've
noticeable.
All the ones I've seen of people.
I don't think it's like life debilitating.
Right. All the ones I've seen of this one doesn't wobble at all have been at shows. So I'm wondering, you go home, heat it up, start feeding it, get a little size. Is it gonna? Is it gonna wobble? That's where I
that one I got from Bob when they were first new. I had that snake a year or two. That snake never wobbled.
Really?
I tried.
Was that from Bob's line?
I got it direct from Bob.
No. But so Bob imported one.
No, I know. He got one from Czechoslovakia.
Yeah, he calls it the Czech.
Yeah. And he didn't breed it for years, and he finally let Jeff bred it.
Yeah. He thought it was a fucking G-stripe.
Yeah, but so it was from that one. But I know other ones from Bob Wobble.
Does anybody know? Does the Harlequin stuff? Does that wobble or no? It does. I couldn't remember if it did or not. No, yeah, it's fucked up.
I've heard of some that do.
Really?
I think it's maybe better, but it's like I said, it's attached to the gene.
Yeah.
You would think over in Europe they wouldn't even allow it. They quit breeding spiders.
Yeah.
But the thing is, I thought it was funny when people were coming all after the spider. There's like 12 ball pythons that wobble, like mutations. Like why it's spiders? Just because there's like a lot of other ball pythons that have that same kind of wobble neural issue.
Yeah.
Like super spot nose, like power balls. Yeah. Those wobble, sables. Like there's all these other ball pythons that do it.
Just not as popular, probably.
Champagnes, I think. Yeah, I don't know. They crucified one, but the other ones they don't even mention them.
Weird. Well, yeah, I don't know.
Anyway, Jags are cool though, but that one that one you had was bad.
Yeah, that big one was the one, and that's the thing. Like, I wasn't planning on getting any more, but after I saw the Jag Anthrax stuff, man, I'm like, man, I gotta kind of try to work with that, and hope to God they aren't too bad. But
was that one of Andrews? Was that an F1 Jag?
It was.
I believe it was from the Jag to like a tiger het stripe.
It was whatever the second. I'm pretty sure it was the second breeding, if I remember correctly. I don't know what the exact pairing on it was, but
I think it was a tiger het G stripe.
Yeah, I think it was sibling. I think it was a sibling to the tigers, if I remember correctly. But yeah, I don't know. Not sure. What? Yeah, I don't know. No one's really posting any questions. We still got like 15 people in here, 14 people, but
ask questions. Oh, you gonna see my wife's booty?
What other stuff is going on? I mean, I kind of blew through all my stuff. We've been doing 2 hours, so I don't know whatever you guys want to do. If there's anything else you want to touch on or save it for.
Was there anything else on the talking points?
No, I mean, we kind of hit everything. I mean, we talked about like some of the overbreeding and being smart about what you're pairing.
What are you breeding, Jake?
What am I breeding?
Yeah.
I'm trying to do. I got the platy type. Well, there's a few breedings I'm trying, but the females are not quite there. But I want to try to do platy tiger hypo to I have a platy phantom tiger at hypo female, so I'd like to see that. Then the platy hypo tiger to my platy anthrax tiger. So we'll see if those go. And then what else do I got that I'm trying to do right now?
That hypo you got's got more in it.
Yeah, I think so. I'd like to try to make some more orange glow anthrax stuff.
That thing's head stripe for sure.
Oh, and I got my platy tiger pied pos het albino's been locking with the purple sunhead pied. That's the only actual. So I've had 2 locks, so that breeding, and then I had a breeding from the tiger double het purple anthrax. So whatever, if I get 2 breedings, 2 ovulations, I'm probably gonna cut it there, unless by some miracle this platy phantom tiger head hypo goes. She's a rat eater. She won't eat anything else, so I have to feed her like 7 or 8 jumbo rats a feeding.
That sounds expensive.
It sucks, dude. Well, I got a pretty good rat guy that I get for
what the hell?
Cheap. I buy them all out, man. 500-600 jumbos for, I think I pay $1.25. Yeah.
Hey man, you don't live that far away.
Yeah, dude. I buy every fucking one, man. So
damn.
Yeah. So they're ball python guys. They're like, we got these old breeders if you want them. So I snag.
Yeah, too big. They don't want them.
Snag them all up. I'll take every fucking one you got. They bring them to me at Tinley too. So
it's crazy because I always say my boas cost more to feed than my damn retics.
Yeah. Dude, the rats are so expensive. Rats are so expensive. It's unreal.
Crazy.
Unbelievable. That's why I try to get them out pigs as quick as I can.
I got one female right now that's gravid.
Do you? What are you pairing? Anything? Or can you say what that breeding is?
Yeah, it's a ocelot probable het Indo that's from that anery stuff to the mister. It's to a platinum genetic stripe het purple or mocha.
Okay.
So it'll prove that out, and then that ocelot's also breeding my purple sun tiger het stripe.
Nice.
I'm trying to make like a small army of that stuff, but that's all a little bit unrelated to breed together.
Yeah.
And then if my platinum ghost GS goes, I want to breed that male to her too.
Oh yeah.
But they're all like 10 or 12 foot females. They're small.
Yeah. My purple sunhead pied is from Shane. She's fucking big, dude. That's the only thing I'm like, man. I hope she's gonna drop a pretty big clutch. I think if she ends up going, that's the only thing.
Yeah, my clutches are gonna be like 16 eggs. Like,
yeah, this girl's gonna drop, I bet, 40.
Mm-hmm.
So if she goes, we'll see. I may just do one. What about you, Chris? You said you're not doing anything this year, or you're gonna try?
I'm trying. I paired my platinum tiger het hypo to my tiger het hypo, but that's it so far. Like the other.
Did they lock it all?
I haven't seen shit. The male's not arching, like nothing.
Is she off food?
Man, she's so weird. Like I got her from a friend that didn't take wonderful care of her, and she's just been a problem child since she's a 2018, and she's probably 11 foot. I mean, she just won't grow.
Do you know how to palpate?
I don't care. Like if she goes, she goes.
It happens.
Yeah, exactly.
That's. I'm all in on the hypo stuff, man. I love them.
Dude,
so much.
Hypo,
So
I've been saying it for years.
Dude.
It's my favorite morph.
I love the normals or the non-tight. Like I like the platy hypos more than the tigers, but
I don't like the tiger stuff with
man,
it.
Like I think Bob posted
the platinum best.
Bob posted a platy hypo today somewhere, dude. Fuck, that snake's nice looking, man.
I think that is mine.
You think so?
I think that might be an old photo.
Man, that snake.
It looks identical to mine.
Nice. I got my platy. I got that platy sun double head purple hypo. She's like 2 years old. That Bob made it. Dude, I'm slamming the fuck out of her. Like I don't really do that to too many snakes anymore. Dude, I'm feeding her up so much.
I think hypo will be really neat, and I think the GC that you did.
Yeah,
I think GC. I'd like to see it in that. I want to see it in marble.
Anthrax. It's got to go to anthrax.
Yeah, anthrax and sunfire. Maybe OGS.
Platy anthrax hypo is what I want to make so bad.
That's gonna be really yellow.
It is, but it's
because the anthrax adds yellow too.
It does. So and then I don't know, maybe just the hypo anthrax on its own might be really nice.
Yeah.
So that's what I'm really.
I want to see platinum tiger hypo 50% Slayer. That's like my end game.
Yeah, the Slayer might add a lot to it.
I think it will.
Yeah. Did you guys see the Platy Hypo Super Tiger? What's his name? Is that in Mexico? That dude made it?
Yeah. They did in Mexico.
That thing's cooler than I thought it was going to look. That snake is pretty neat, man. I think
it's still pretty young too, so it's going to change a lot.
Well, those Super Tigers, they get quite yellow when they get older. So, man, I think that snake's going to be. I think that's going to be a really badass looking snake.
Yeah,
but
I really I just want to see it in Sunfire.
Yeah,
I want to see Sun. Bob made double het orange ghost stripe hypos. I don't know, a couple years ago. I want to see that shit.
Yeah, you've seen them in person, Chris, or no?
I've seen the double hets in person.
Yeah, dude,
but it's been years.
They're insane looking. Yeah,
did he keep them all, or did he sell any, or what?
I don't know. No idea.
He told me he wasn't selling any, but I mean, who knows?
Yeah.
He told me that with the double het hypo stripe stuff too, and he sold them like all of it.
Yeah. Here's a question for you. What do you guys think about ambient versus hotspots?
I'll tell you what I think. Fuck that. I cannot. Okay, so I work in as a fleet mechanic for a school district, and
you guys keep talking. I'm gonna use the bathroom.
I'm not working in 100-degree summer and then coming home working in a hot ass snake room.
I tried it once.
I'm not saying it doesn't work. I'm just saying I'm not doing it. I can't stand, like, if I have to clean cages for like 8-10 hours and it's fucking 80 something, like 85 degrees, 82 degrees, and people say, well, I got fans. It's like, oh man, it's fucking hot. So in my opinion, I run either heat panels or belly heat, and I run it on one side and I let the snake thermal regulate as they want, and they cycle themselves if the cage is big enough. But that's just me. Like the room heat works.
Yeah.
But like I'm really OCD and anal, so like I set everything up and then like I don't move it. So like people that have all these like belly heat problems and stuff that they're scared about, like I get it, but like I'd rather like burn up a rack or one cage than like fucking kill everything in my room.
I set up my old snake building, which had a 1,500-gallon crock tank in it. So lots of water, lots of humidity.
Did you move or did you just get rid of that?
So that's just a crock house now. And then all my snakes are in the garage. So I set that up for ambient one time, and the heat got stuck on. I lost 2 adult females because I just fed. It got too hot. They bloated up and died. It was humid. It was hot. I couldn't stand it. But I've been to Lucas's place here recently. I went over Thanksgiving, and he does ambient. Works great for him. I think it really just depends on your setup and what works best for you.
It also might depend where you live.
That could be a big factor in it.
Like if you're in a super like hot, humid area anyway, you know, I don't know. I couldn't do it.
I would love to do it just because I'm so paranoid about a rack, like you said, catching on fire, burning my fucking house down or something. I'm so like, that's where I'm like, I would love to do it, but then on the flip, I'm a big dude, fucking working in 84 degree heat all day. I'm gonna be so miserable and hate my life. So that's the kind of, I don't know.
Everybody that used to come over to help me clean knew I had my shirt off. I used to break out in fucking hives from all the goddamn humidity and heat.
Yeah, that's fuck, man. I would hate that.
Sucked.
I would hate that. So it's but I'm all like a lot of my cages. I don't even use flex sweat anymore. I've always used those ultra therm heat pads, which are a little bit more money, which I love because they never get hot enough to really like burn your house down.
Right.
But the racks do, and that's the only thing. Like unless I could figure out a way to like use the racks with those, I would do that. But
I will, if I'm using heat tape, I will only use flex watt.
You don't use a TXG?
No. I've had multiple strips of that melt and short and spark.
Really?
Yes. I have pictures of it I can show you. But I've used the THG in like the foot long ones, like the foot wide, where you're just using like a short strip under a cage. And I never had problems with those. But like like a 30-foot strip of it through like a whole rack. Every one of them I ever had fucked up.
Damn.
Yeah, I've only used it for caging, but
Yeah,
I've never had any
I've
issues
used it
with
on cages and it was fine, but in racks it melted and shorted and sparked. It's
Huh.
but FlexWatt I've never had any issues with it. So I'll only use FlexWatt. And then for big cages I use Ultratherms like Jake said, or
Yeah.
I have one stack that has heat panels in them.
What do you got? I mean, I don't know. Maybe not weekly, but man, we definitely do it again. I think for sure. I mean, I think I had like 15, 18, 19 people at one point. So I don't know.
We need more questions.
Yeah. Well, that's something.
If you keep doing it, you'll get more questions.
Yeah, no, I agree. I mean, I think that's the thing, right? It's, maybe we could do it more often. I would be down, as long as we could do a time and a day that works. I know it's hard, everybody's schedule, but
I'm typically free. I mean, unless I'm on a fucking vacation.
Yeah, I mean, I usually am once my kids go to bed, something like that. Usually 8 o'clock or so. But I mean, I could always make me and my wife could switch off or something. But
yeah, mine goes to bed at like 8:30.
And then what else?
So she's asleep.
Ocelot gonna benefit from enhancers. Yeah, I think so. I mean, Tiger.
Have you seen the combos?
Tiger looks insane.
I think they mean color stuff.
I think Platinum's going to be very cool. I think a Platinum Ocelot's going to be very nice.
I was just doing that because I had it in the snake already. But yeah, Aubrey said he's very interested in seeing it in Platinum, which because I didn't think it even fucking mattered because the Sunfire one didn't do nothing.
So I would like to see more of it.
Yeah, maybe that was just a bad one.
Bad one, and I haven't seen any other pictures. Like I've seen one picture of it, or two pictures.
I've only seen it as a baby.
Yeah, so who knows? So I mean,
I think pattern stuff is where it's at, or any kind of like locality stuff like Sula or what, Yeah, I don't want to mention the Ternate, but
the Ternate Ocelots.
But Ternates have a lot of pattern and a lot of black.
Oh, I
think they're fucking gorgeous.
So like a Ternate or like a Sula or I don't know.
Halma.
They're dark too.
A lot of black. A lot of black.
Someone needs to put fucking Halma into Anthrax.
I thought I saw a picture or a video maybe of Rodney. Was Rodney trying that? I know, but I'm just saying. I think I've seen that, or somebody's posted it or shared it or something. But
if he makes it, badass. But
yeah, I think that'd be a super cool breeding.
Yeah.
But I mean, the Tiger's tough to beat, dude. The Tiger.
What if you did like a Halma and like a Motley Golden?
Yeah. Who knows?
Or that whatever that thing. What's that thing Sal's got? That
the Dark Knight or Black Knight.
Yeah, it's like 4 or 5 genes or something.
I think it's
that's
3.
Like what? Golden Child, Phantom, Motley.
Wasn't it like
OGS or something?
Super Motley?
Or no, it wouldn't be.
No, I think it's like 4 or 5 genes. I don't think it's 3.
I know they did a video or they talked about it.
Yeah.
But they're nice. They're cool as hell. I'd love to get one of those.
Sick.
Such a cool snake.
I always dreamt of that a actual black retic, which there isn't one, but because then you could make a purple or a
that's about as black as it's gonna get. I think right there.
But it ain't black.
Well, I know, but it's.
Sal's is pretty fucking close.
We thought the Motley GCs were gonna be that snake takes it to a whole different.
I wonder if you did whatever Sal's is in like a purple or a mocha or something, like would it be like an extreme purple tail? Remember those?
I do. I hatched a bunch. You know what I think you would need to do is maybe take that whatever that is that Sal made and put that, as much as I don't like them. Sorry, Chris, but into a titanium. Just strip all that pattern, most of that pattern away, and without black, I don't know. Maybe that would do something.
Yeah, but Golden Child does the same thing.
Yeah, but you still see a lot. You still see the dorsal.
Golden Child is less patterned than titanium.
Yeah, I guess so. I guess you're right.
I think
guess you're right.
I'm not a big titanium guy either, but the Mochino or the orange glow titaniums are pretty cool.
So I want to take titanium more for the heads.
Mm-hmm.
Just bring it kind of like a pastel ball python. Like, if you put too much in titanium, if you put more than like one gene into titanium, it turns into shit. It's just a patternless snake.
What do you think about putting something with a crazy pattern, like an anthrax or an ocelot or something like that?
I think titanium would take
Yeah, why didn't Jay ever do like an anthrax titanium? He did like everything else.
But you don't think he did?
I don't know. I never saw one.
I've never seen
I never saw it, but I just assumed it'd just be patternless.
Yeah, I don't know.
I took titanium way in the wrong way in mainlands, and then.
I mean, I will say, like, I'm not a titanium guy, but man, I remember when I went to Jay's and I saw, like, I think they were the first platinum tiger titaniums or whatever. Dude, those things were the colors. Even to this day, I've never seen anything like it. Just with how bright yellow those sides were, and then that like really bright, clean gray on top with like the black pinstriping.
Did you see that Super Dwarf titanium male I made this year?
Yeah.
Dude, that thing is
awesome.
Fucking sick.
It's there's some really, really cool ones out there.
If you can keep the pattern, it makes a total difference. If you don't put too many genes into it, don't gene stack it, you keep that pattern, you get that contrast. That's where it's at. That
yellow and gray, man, was because you've been to Jay's or no?
No.
So he's got those like sterilite. You've probably seen them. They're like the taller totes. When they pulled that rack out, and it was like a 10-foot platy tiger titanium, whatever it was. I was like, what the hell? Like, because the babies didn't look that great as babies. I'm like, oh, they're dog shit, you know. And I was like, Jay was fucking cracking up, and Tim was laughing because I'm like, this thing's fucking insane. I couldn't believe how bright and just.
What was it?
It's like I think it was a platy tiger titanium or a platy titanium or something like that.
Platy titanium.
That's about the only thing. That's about the only thing besides albinos that looks good with them.
The yellow,
I agree.
The yellow was on another level.
Some of those like Motley or Super Motley titanium was almost like blue.
Yeah,
that was pretty good.
I made Motley titaniums and Motley tiger titaniums. I wasn't a big fan, but
no, I think this was a Super Motley titanium. It was like a steel blue color.
I want to get some purple Super Dwarf titaniums and some platinum Super Dwarf titaniums. And that'd be cool. I think that's as far as I'm going to take it.
That would be cool, man. Fucking A. Seeing if there's any other. I don't see any other.
How do you see the questions? I can't see shit.
I don't know. Maybe because I made it. It's been a while. I thought they were on the right-hand side of the screen. At least on my computer, they are.
Oh, comments. Okay.
Yeah, you got to go to comments.
Can you click it? Do you see them?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, man. Well, who's that? Spencer, I think, right? He's got some cool stuff. You guys ever see his stuff on Instagram?
Who?
I think it's Spencer.
Cool.
Dude, dude, his shit's so cool, man. So
his fucking pages are amazing.
Names.
Dude, I watch all of his Instagram stuff, man. His cages and stuff are so cool.
They're badass.
Yeah, it's seeing that stuff makes me wanna like do the bigger naturalistic type setups. I know that's why I was saying
like the newer people have taught me so much. Like, I mean, he hasn't been around that long.
Yeah.
But look at his shit. Like,
yeah, it's cool. It's very cool. That's what I think. Like, look at guys like that. He doesn't have a ton of stuff, but his stuff is awesome. Yep. Caging is super cool. It's very manageable. You know, that's definitely doing it right for sure. But
when this ghost I got gets like over 20 feet, I'm gonna do something big. I got this ghost that its mom and its grandma were like 20 footers.
Jesus Christ.
So she's like maybe 4 and like 15 feet.
I want to see what those Malay Sula crosses end up that Weston's got, man. Those things, the growth rate on those snakes is those fucking insane.
But the Palopo isn't in them.
Yeah, I don't know. That's we do a whole show on that. You know,
that's in them.
Fuck, I was gonna say something. Oh, we were talking about cages. Did you guys ever see the old National Geographic with David Tracy Barker?
I had that on VHS.
I was gonna say I have it on VHS somewhere.
I recorded that as a little kid.
My mom has a converter where I can convert it over to DVDs. So I'm trying to find it. I have like 30 VHS tapes filled with reptile videos I taped. But anyways, they had, remember their giant walking cages they had? They were like 10 by 10 cages. They had scrubs and tiger retics and all that. That's what I would love to do. Get a big fucking building, you know, and just line them up, just like the monitor guys do, just cage with these big like 10 by 10 cages and just.
If you do that, you gotta make a bonfire and get a didgeridoo.
Oh yeah, be cool though, man. Like that would be. I want to find that video. I gotta get it.
I have it.
Yeah.
If you ever put it on DVD, you got to send me a copy.
Yeah, I will. That's what I told I had my mom doing it. I'm like, I sent her all my VHS tapes. I'm like, I need you to burn all of that's because that's the only video I really care about. Is like, I gotta find this fucking video, man. It's in here somewhere, so they'll have
like that old wild caught titanium and those first platinum pair that we got. They came from Dave and Tracy.
Really?
Did you have any like locality info on that at all or anything?
No.
Tracy's awesome.
Jay one time told me that he thought his was like Jamp or something.
The titanium?
Yeah, but since then I thought they were all Sumatran.
I was gonna say those fuckers got big. I mean, not that Jamps don't get big, but
yeah, I'm pretty sure they're Sumatran. I mean, I know what most of the mutations are, where they're from, but
so like that original platinum female I had, she ended up being het albino.
Really?
Yep.
Wait, it was an import?
Mm-hmm.
Didn't you make albino ultras with her? Did you do that?
It was albino ivories.
Or albino ivories? You were the first one that did that, right? If I remember correctly.
I think Jason did it a year or two before, and they all died, and then all mine died too.
Oh, Jason Reed, are you talking about, right?
Yeah, sorry.
Speaking of Jason Reed, he called me the other day. Yes. I have not talked to Jason Reed in long. I'm sitting at work and my phone popped up and it said Jason Reed. I was talking to my boss. I'm like, hey, I got to run outside and take this call right now. So, yeah, I'll have to talk to you.
He is the only reason I dealt with Samson. He was supposed to buy my fucking collection when I was moving to Florida to be closer to my family. Yeah. And he didn't end up doing it. He fucked me over. He strung me on for a fucking year.
Fuck.
Yeah.
Not surprised.
I was so bad.
I caught whatever. I caught that dude lying twice, like hardcore lying.
Yeah. Jason, me and Jason were pretty tight for a long time.
Yeah, we did all kind of shit together, but like, Yeah,
it was just wild. But I didn't even know what to say. I was like, what? We'll have to talk about that later. Nothing great. I mean, it was wild. I was like still shocked. I'm like, what the fuck, man?
Does he have any snakes?
No, he's out 100%. That's kind of why we talked. He had some stuff. He's like, I need some info on where I could move some of this stuff.
Because I heard like everything died or whatever.
Yeah, it wasn't animals. This wasn't animals or nothing like that. So, but yeah, so crazy, man. A lot of old times, man. But well, I don't know. What do you guys say? Call it or let you guys? I mean, we're at 2.5 hours. Call
That's it.
You guys, man. We can.
I ain't got much else to say.
Yeah, I mean, we hit a lot. I mean, I'm done. I mean, I would think we should do it again if you guys want it. I think it was cool. I mean,
I'm always game, man.
Maybe we do not weekly. Weekly's too fucking hard. But
yeah,
maybe if we try to set time aside to do it once a month.
Is there a way we could get like a bunch of questions like prior?
Well, we could. I mean, I made a group for my Retic Radio, like a Facebook group. I don't know if you guys have seen it or on it, but I made it for that just so I can I just figured it's everything that related could be on there. I mean, we could post stuff on there or see if anybody wants. What do you guys want to hear about? What do you want to talk about? Type stuff, just to get some ideas, and then just I don't know. We can just talk about shit going on because I'm sure in a month or 3 weeks or whatever we do, I'm sure drama or. I mean, we didn't even talk about Rodney stuff. If we wanted to talk about Rodney stuff or turnates or any of that shit. So I mean, there's a lot we could still talk about. But I'm definitely down to do it again. It sounds like from the comments, a lot of people were into it. So definitely wouldn't mind doing it again. We can maybe try to get Weston in, have all the admins of the nation on at one time. I don't know.
I'd like that.
That's fine.
I know we kind of talked about that previously, so. But I don't know what his schedule is. So, yeah. Cool. Well, yeah, I appreciate you guys coming on. I'm glad we got to do this. Like I said, I know we talked about it. So, thanks to everybody that that tuned in and talked and chatted. We'll have to come up with a process or something to get some questions and talking points. But we'll end
Hey
it here.
Chris, you said you got a croc room, but you don't have a croc anymore?
I got Cayman.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Come on, man.
My croc ended up being a male instead of a female, so I wasn't building an entire new building for it.
What kind of Cayman?
Palpabrosis.
Oh.
If I'm saying that right, I'm probably fucking it up. But
I like what those broad snouted ones.
those are cool. They're not easy to get in Oklahoma, but
they're kind of cute.
yeah.
They're neat, man. But, well, we're gonna end it. I'll talk to you guys once I end this. We can chat or whatever. So thanks again for everyone. Hey, go support USARK. We need to support USARK, right? So
and everybody be nice on the nation.
Yeah.
At least be a member. You don't have to donate.
Yeah.
Be a fucking member. It's $40. If you don't have $40, hit me up. I'll fucking pay for it.
There you go. You heard it from the man himself. So.
Damn, Chris got all the money.
Yeah, I ain't got it like that, but I'll help out you.
He must be selling retics if he's got all the money.
Yeah.
All right, guys. We'll chat in a minute. Thanks, guys, for watching.
Bye.
Have a good one.